live from the authoritarian police state of Australia. This is Matt Danson, and this is After the Turns.
Welcome to post-Michigan edition of After the Turns. I know that I think that sounded very close to me, did it not? The Australian accent. I grew my beard out for a week just for that moment, so the transition looks so seamless from Danson to myself. And we're doing round two, I guess, this week. A little bit of a makeup for last week. So obviously we've got Matt Danson, and we've got Nick Silver, IROC champion, a week late. And Nick, how are you today?
Good. Hopefully I don't break the stream this time.
Yeah, well, it was a championship stream, and we just couldn't handle what was coming to us, and we needed another week to prepare. I think we're going to have to call you Silver today, just because we can't. I'm going to be confused, and yeah, I think Sam's right. This is probably going to be a 5-hour show minimum. There's a lot of graphics that Matt didn't get in last week, so we'll see what we can do. But I guess we're going to start with Michigan since that just happened yesterday, and then we'll circle back to IROC for sure. Nick, we'll definitely need to talk about it. And I guess if we're going worst to first, we're going to have to start with Danson serving the second of a 2-week suspension. Yet really made his presence known. I know Matt Morrow was really licking his chops. Yeah, he was licking his chops during the post-race Discord because he was so excited about what we could talk about today. So, how was your off day, Danson? Looks like you had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean the like you said, the 2-week suspension. It's more, I don't know. It feels like about 2 months at the moment because it just with all the breaks and everything. But yeah, I was in there spotting for Seth. I got in there a bit late, so I missed the start, but I did see a 3-way tie for the pole, which I'm pretty sure you were part of, Nick.
We were all pretty shocked. Yes, it was the case.
It was insane. So that was really cool. Good job.
Yeah.
And yeah, just observed. Got a good look at the race as a result, and yeah, it was brilliant. Caution free, top notch driving from the whole field, and a great battle at the end. For a wonderful victory.
It was. Is there anything else that we talk about? Are we saving that? What do the Mats think? How do we even approach that? Do we want to just circle back? Maybe.
I think maybe we. Yeah, what do you want to do, Danson? You have a lot of opinions about the end. Obviously, you were watching.
Yeah. It was a great race, and I thought it was a really good, exciting finish that the fans loved, and it was a great race.
Well, that was very PC of you. So I guess we'll have to circle back to that maybe at some point, depending on what happens here. But we'll go to Matt. You had an interesting day. So let's talk a little bit about your day. I think you've got some videos you want to show us from your race.
Yeah, Danson's being nice. He's going to let me start being the bad guy, and then maybe I'll pile on after, like I kind of jumped in on the Discord stuff anyway. So yesterday, Nick, I know we had talked in the morning beforehand. I know you were really excited about Michigan. I was like, okay, let's go. I mean, I didn't really get a chance to run many laps. I did some AI laps in the morning. I thought the car was loose, and we get into the session, and it was very cloudy. I was like, okay, we got an overcast day. Car should be a little easier to drive, and it wasn't too bad at all. And started 26th, and some guys immediately went to the back, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go because it looked pretty tame. I hadn't really seen anything that was gonna make me scared, and so I passed some guys, moved up through the field pretty quickly, and then Nick, you and I found each other. I don't know, maybe like 15, 20 laps in, run 11th, 12th place, and kind of just rode together. And I think we were hoping to just kind of, stick together back at the top 10. His cars tried to go low, basically, get spots that way, continue to run the high line. And we started moving up, and I think I had gotten up to 5th. Danson, you're probably like, Seth, why are you racing Matt Mara for 5th place for like 15 laps? Wondering what the heck's going on. Yeah. So what was the radio like? When you're like, oh my God, you're racing this guy right now.
No, I was really happy. I was like, you've unleashed the potential of Mara Motorsports. Sometimes it's just that little fine tuning of of the little things to get you to flip that switch. And we've known that Nick Mara the 40 team has had a lot of speed. Part-time sort of entrant, but the 40 has been OP. 23 sort of more of a development team, it seems like, just sort of trying to really work the the ins and outs of Mara Motorsports, really just try and build the consistency into the team. But it all came to fruition there, and Seth was all over the place, trying moves and just doing things for fun at times. But the 32 was holding Nick back. I think the number change really set things. Oh, hello. Really set things off. That's just my work. We'll just ignore that for a moment. It was a setup, exactly. I thought that was amazing. Honestly, that part of the race, I was really hoping you guys could keep pushing forward. I think where you ended up, but
I think we generally were like, okay, we're gonna get to green flag pit stops, and it's gonna play a big part in whatever happens. And it did mix up the field a little bit, and people got on different strategies. And somebody really wants you on the phone dancing.
It's all right. We're good.
What's going on here? There's 7 people watching this stream. Don't they know that they just take a back seat? Your daily takes a back seat.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, this takes priority for sure.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun there with Seth. I think Nick had made the comment, like, I complimented Seth so much.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Complimented Seth so much, and then he was like racing like crazy over there, with us, and honestly it was fun racing with him. It never was he made some daring moves, but it was never like, oh, why the heck did he do that, right? It was some creative moves. He was making some passes, and I think I followed him from probably about 10th to 5th. Just he was making holes where he's going lane higher than everyone else, and he was making it work. And it was great following him, so that was fun. Get to the pit stops, and so I was 5th. I led my first lap this year during green flag pit stops because I was 5th when the front 4 pitted. Yay! Evan even called it out. Like gave me like a winner's call for leading a lap. That might be the most I get. It was pretty great. And Matt Mara has led a lap in the SimSeats Real Sim Racing Cup Series. Like,
was that your first one?
The first one this year. So I led like 9 or 10 laps at Daytona last year.
Wow. I have to go back and watch that.
Yeah. I led 9 laps. Yeah. So consecutively. Yeah. I was up in the top 10 that whole race last year. This race last year, the one that's coming up. So get the pit stops, and I'm just like, okay, don't mess this up. Be careful. I missed my pit stop too many times. I mean, that's not going to be the reason I lose today. And coming out of pit road, and everyone probably heard me on the radio. I was pretty irritated. I was just trying to scoop behind Grant and come out single file, line up. Got to keep the draft with the idea that, I pitted on lap 50 thinking I needed to get one more lap out of this next run. I need to settle in between a small pack and save gas because I knew I needed to save another lap. And so we'll get to the right one here. I got so many clips for today. So I don't know who watched this, but I just was like, okay, everybody's kind of sorting themselves off. I let off a little bit to let Grant in, and De Blasio here, Adam De Blasio, he gets a run.
There's me.
Yeah, there's you passing us up because you pitted a few laps earlier. But yeah, so I'm trying to get in here, and I see he's peeking under there, and so I never fully went down, thinking we were gonna, sort ourselves out, and then I had to majorly let off the gas there, and I lost the pack because of this. So I let off the gas. I went up on the track. I got black flagged. I fell about 2 seconds behind this pack, so I lost the draft, and I was sitting on my own for about 10 laps before I could get any sort of draft, and that had killed my chances of saving any gas. So I was pissed about this. I keyed up the radio. I didn't know, I think in races past, I would have just served the penalty, but been very mad about it. And I got on the radio. I'm like, that's BS. Like, clear my black flag. But I didn't know what was going to happen. And I did see that during the broadcast. This is actually from the broadcast that they did talk about it. And they reviewed it. And then they overturned it. And I think Nolan was like, oh, my. He had no choice. Like, you got driven onto the track, basically. And so I understand why that rule's in place with iRacing, but at the same time, like I avoided a wreck. You see De Blasio there is literally on the line, and I gave him, as much space as I could with trying to stay on the track. So that was pretty frustrating. Ruined my race because I couldn't save gas. Then I had to pit with like 20 laps to go, and and then finished 32nd because everybody made it on gas. So that was frustrating. De Blasio, I know he got on the radio and kind of showed no remorse in the Discord chat. He had said that, it was a super aggressive move. And I guess my comment to that is, if you're going to consistently make super aggressive moves and not show any remorse for that, then people aren't going to like you. And you shouldn't be surprised that you're receiving any backlash. So I feel like that's a very fair comment. It's not pointed either way, but it's frustrating, right? It's frustrating. I talked to him a few weeks ago and, was trying to be sympathetic to his side of the story. I think we heard that on the episode a few weeks ago, and, he just doesn't give a shit. So that was frustrating. I think, Danson, you had mentioned earlier, not running up there that often. And, I just asked for the respect. You saw, the reason I had to, give Grant some space coming off pit road is because Grant was giving the space to Michael. And there's just there's no need for that. We had 50 laps to go and we're going to be lining up saving gas. So I just didn't understand it. So that was my day. I was very frustrated about that. So with that, I guess how does anyone else feel about this move? Like, does anybody else do this? And what? Am I out of place here for thinking this is completely uncalled for?
It is a dick move.
To reference, I would say you're being super generous to the car. I think that's Grant, is it, ahead of you?
Yeah.
I think it's reasonable for you to stay as close as you can to his bumper, but then obviously, you're obviously conscious of the car behind you. Who just got a great run and really just making a great move. But I think in future, if you have a situation like that, like sort of Sam was saying, you've just got to basically force them onto the grass, or just sort of hold your own in that regard a little bit. Despite how great the move might be.
Yeah, I think so. The one thing I will say, and I actually felt like my day from this standpoint, from the pit standpoint, was actually not awful, but it's where I feel like I get beat more than anything is getting on a pit road, getting off the pit road, the whole pit stop, even on pit road, going the speed limit, pushing the limit. And Matt, they will take advantage of us. I mean, that was a little aggressive, but I feel like that's my biggest fear is the guys in this league will do that. Some of them will because they know they can. And they kind of just see it as an opportunity to make an easy pass or something. So I'm not saying it was, that was still very aggressive. I mean, it looked like he was in the grass. So that was an interesting, I guess that was like a life or death scenario coming out of the pits to get by you. But I do know that that's the part that I worry quite a bit about, is the pits and everything associated with it. So yeah. That's my thoughts on it. So, but yeah, obviously that was a bit aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you know what? I finished 32nd, and I looked at the first half of that race. I had a bunch of fun. That first half of the race was probably the most fun I've had in the league in a while. We've had a lot of road courses and other stuff lately, and it was super fun to, Nick, be up there with you, to be making passes, to be competitive. And I know some guys dropped to the back early, but I think you look at who was up there in the top 10 or 15. And I think other than Nick and I making our occasional appearance up front, everybody else up there were people who typically run up front. So encouraging to say the least, and hope that, once we get out of these road courses, maybe that means some continued good runs. So Nick, with that, let's go to you. You had a fast car too, and you started up front.
Oh,
yeah, you're so distracted by the chat.
Yeah, sorry. I had a couple people asking about the candle. I broke it like 20 minutes ago. It's literally right here on the ground next to me, and I've stepped on glass twice since we went on the air. So moving is scary. But Yeah, I started second. I think my problem was I talked up Seth so much in both of our broadcasts that like he naturally would win the pole by like a 10,000th of a second. So that was disappointing, but also exciting. So, guys, 2 front row starts this year. I thought if we won the pole, maybe Matt would have given us a banner from our motorsports. I think that's banner worthy. Michigan pole. I might do it again this week at Daytona. So
do you reckon Matt would give you the Bud Pole Award or something? Like he'd get you to
that's what I
stand
was
in front of the
assuming.
thing
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I just give it. That's right. I didn't even think about that. If I win the poll this week, like give me the old, like they had the little old scoreboard where they used to write it down and they would hold it.
You'd be pointing to it and be like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Honest to God, if I do win the poll this week, because there's a shot, we will recreate that in all of its glory. eBay's a ditch, so we could find all that and do that. But man, I was so close. When you do the practice races, I know that I qualified no worse than second in all 5 of the races that I did. So I felt like I would ququalify well, but you never know how that's going to translate to the field. It went well there. And then for the race, I was at the front at the beginning. Grant made a move on the outside, like 8 laps in, and pushed me down back to 12th. I saw that they called it the getting Nick Marad, which, that's probably the best thing that could have happened to me this whole year is being called, I'm a phrase now, I'm an adjective. So, and it really would make sense that it's falling to the back. So like all of this makes sense. It's all adding up. Like this is very much, it's going to be what I'm known for is for going straight to the back and any track.
Yeah.
So, found my way there anyway, but that's great. That's just put that on a banner or put it on a cat poster or something. Yeah. It's funny because for some reason all my friends were watching and they saw that happen, and then I didn't even watch the broadcast, but I looked at the text afterward, and there was like 30 that just kept saying how the other people were getting Nick Marr, and I was like, what are they talking about? I'm assuming it's not good, and it wasn't good one bit. Overall, it was a lot of fun. It was Matt, you said it was a lot of fun. Seth was a crazy person. I think I said like 3 times. I was like, it's funny. He's so aggressive. And that's all I did was comment on it for like 2 hours of broadcasting the last couple of weeks. And so that was a lot of fun seeing him, demasculinize me a couple times with some passes. We did the pit stops and I came out and I was in the top 10. And honestly, I think Grant reached out a little bit today and didn't expect everybody to not crash. That was kind of a surprise. So I don't know how to save fuel. It was never going to happen. So I came and got tires with like 25 to go, running in 6th, and actually like pretty damn fast. I told Matt like especially in 3 and 4, I was actually very good. I think I had a pretty good car. I think I would have. It's a shame that this had to be the 1 fuel mileage race really of the year because I had like a legitimate top 10. I had a top 10 in the bag. Like legitimately, guys. It's not even fake. Like I was racing.
You're doing great.
Yeah, I had a great race and I did good on the pit stops. I think I was 6th, like of the guys that pitted.
Yeah.
I know you guys again were saving fuel, but like when you look at the score,
Did you not have enough fuel? I felt like the lap that you pitted, you could have made it. And then I don't know if you realized that you could have.
Nick pitted on like lap 47. I pitted on lap 49, and I was 2 laps short.
Right.
Because I didn't have any drafts. So whoever did make it was saving pretty aggressively. Using and we'll talk to Silver about that because I know we were talking before. He made it to the end on gas. So obviously we want to know how he did it because yes, I don't think Nick and I did any fuel saving. Did not think about it. I was thinking about it around halfway. I was like a half lap short of making it to the halfway mark. And so I knew it was going to be close to the finish, but at the same time, thought there was going to be a caution. So,
yeah. Well, I ran it out. I ran it out to the end of the first fuel run, and I was like the second guy to pit. I had under a lap of fuel. So I was looking, and it said I was like 4 laps short. It was whatever it was a number that I can't save fuel anyway. And that wasn't going to happen. So I figured I saw Seth pit with like 25 to go. And when I honestly thought maybe a couple guys would make it. Like, I didn't think it was going to be like 10 or 15 or whatever ended up making. That was a lot more than I would have ever thought. So I thought, get the tires and go and just run as hard as you can for the last 20 laps and get the best finish you can. And so I did that. And I think it was the right move for me to give me the best finish.
Where'd you finish?
20th, which, you know, it's not bad, but it just, it sucks because I was probably like, I had a 6th or a 7th in the bag. Everybody who pitted ahead, like, I thought, you know, maybe it's different. I think if one caution comes out, it could have been a completely different story, you know, depending on if I got the outside. You know, everybody could say that, I guess, but I had the track position. I didn't lose the track position really. So a little disappointing on that side, but, you know, one of these days, I would like to get a top 10. That's the goal. But there was a lot of good. So it was fun. I think there was something else I was going to say, but overall it doesn't really matter. But, I felt like single car speed after 10 laps, if there was no draft, I could have kept up with most everybody. I saw it too much on the runs, so there was positives to take away. Just wish the finish was slightly better. So, yeah, happy. Yeah. Nick, your day. You had the best day of all. Didn't see you once all race, so I guess that was not a bad thing. How was your race?
Well, I don't think I saw the top 10 until the last 9 laps or so, or top 20 even, but we just had the plan going in that the whole team was going to just ride out back, try to save some fuel, try to make it on one stop, and try to miss the wreck because all week, you know, A-Fixed, NIS, they were, you know, complete crapshoots. And, of course, the one time we expect RSR to be a wreck fest, they go caution-free, so should have known better, but
yep.
So we were saving too much. We got way too far behind from the beginning, and there was no way we were going to catch up and catch the lead group. But we were clutching it. Most of us were clutching it, entering the corners, going, you know, 3/4 throttle down the straightaway. And, you know, we had enough fuel. Most of us had enough fuel that we could make it easily on the second run there. But we were still trying to save some just in case we got a green-white checker. And again, that's just kind of put us at disadvantage, you know, coming to the end. We're just too far back from Adam and whoever else was up there in the front. But luckily we were playing the right strategy anyway. And like I said, we ended up with the top 10 somehow. I think Brandon Six, our teammate in the middle of the race, he's like, I don't even know what position we're in or what the hell's going on because we're just riding. All of a sudden we're 8th place, you know, there at the end.
Wow, you guys, I didn't see this, but yes, there was a pack of, I guess there was a good group of you. Like from 5th to 15th, we're all in a group.
Yeah.
And I think 5th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th were all keeping it real cars. So you guys are all working together.
Yeah, it was like all 6 of us plus, you know, Eberhardt, and I think Andrew was in there too.
Yeah.
You know, we just all picked wrong. You know, it was a good finish, but it was a little disappointing that we basically put ourselves in that position from the beginning. But, you know, it's a risk. You either go run in the pack and then they wreck, you get wiped out, or, you know, you try to be safe and caution never comes out, of course.
I feel like something similar happened at Talladega where everyone got very lined up and there was like never caution, but maybe people were riding in the back with this package. And so I'm really curious what that's going to do for Daytona next week. If people are going to take that strategy thinking a caution's coming out, or if everybody's going to be trying to get to the bottom and run up front if they can and not give up any track position.
Yeah, it's going to be more of the same. A few of us did a quick A-Fixed race last night, and the package just as crappy as it was at Talladega. So it's going to be hard to pass. And, you know, like you said, last time we tried to do that, we're just going to try to qualify well and stay up front. I'm not coming off the bottom this race.
Well, I'm gonna try and win the pole and win the race, I guess. So please don't be a fuel mileage race next week. That's all that I ask.
Yeah,
it's not gonna happen. I don't know how you save gas. There's just no way. So that's my thoughts on that. So fun race. I know a lot of people were pissed. The good people were probably pissed. But those of us that don't usually run as strong, I was pretty happy about it. I thought it was overall pretty fun.
I was pretty shocked when I saw you there in the top 3 all tied up. I almost had to resort the leaderboard. I wasn't sure what was going on.
Wow, he's saying you're bad.
There it is.
Well, not bad. It was just a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I know. Well, I needed to tell, you know, I needed to tell, like I had to go back and rewatch it just to see how shocked they were. And I feel like it was funny because Nolan, maybe he just remembers me as like the voice, the star voice that was beside him in the booth. But he said something like how like I'm usually a top 10 runner along with like never. And I'm just like, okay, so I was top 10 in everybody's hearts last week when I was announcing, but absolutely not on the racetrack. This is very much a surprise for us all. So I needed them to. I was like, okay, so like let's play it up. And then somebody mentioned how like Seth, I, and someone else like kind of suck a little bit. I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, I suck, but Seth is very good. So I was overall, it was I was pretty surprised as well. I was hopeful to get some TV time. We got a ton of TV time. I felt like Matt and I did, which is really fun. So. A lot of good opportunity for screenshots. But yeah, Nick, I really thought I had a chance at the poll. So I was not surprised. I was disappointed when I saw second come up on the board. But everybody else, I would be absolutely shocked. It was a shock. And then when you saw that, I would just assume everybody would have assumed there would probably be a crash like on lap 5 or something. So
because you're up front. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was it was something. But I guess do we have to talk about the finish? I think we have to.
Of course we do. Yeah, I think there's a lot of drama around the finish that was happening.
I never even saw it. I never even saw the finish.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, live reaction.
Once I realized they weren't showing me anymore, I stopped caring.
So this is one to go. I think Adam's been running behind Sam for a while. This kind of reminded me of Chicago. 2018? I guess we'll watch it here, but he got a huge run here. A huge run. Sam makes the block. And they both go very low.
Is this the flag? Okay. Doesn't he run out of gas? Is he out of gas?
No, I was wrong. No, he just let off out of the gas so much. So I thought the whole time he let off, like he lost so much time. I thought he ran out of gas off 4. But I was definitely wrong. So he did not run out of gas. So yeah, I guess Nick Mara, what are your thoughts seeing this for the first time?
Oh, he wasn't out of gas. I was gonna say, how do we know he wasn't out of gas? So what happened off of turn 2? I guess I'm curious as to what happened.
Oh, how Adam got such a huge run? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought maybe the car stumbled right there is what it looks like, but I guess not.
I think Nieto there was a lap car up ahead, and so he got a little bit aero tight on the exit.
Gotcha.
And that sort of enabled the other car to have a pretty good run. But
I mean, I don't know. Okay, yeah, let me see this car here. Yeah. I guess there is a car up there, isn't there? Does that car just get away then? Is that what happens?
Huh?
Does that lap car in front? I don't know.
Never comes into the picture, yeah. That car gets away pretty quickly.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that would get somebody aero tight. I know that definitely would happen.
But then down in here, he's not really super tight here.
Yeah.
So the car behind the 21 sends it into 3, grabs the apron, and then pushes up the track into the left front of the 2 car.
So Sam made a big block off the backstretch too, which I think was warranted. And honestly, how they both didn't wreck on that block was just impressive by both drivers, honestly. And then going into 3 and 4, I guess my thought was, if I'm Adam, I'm making that same move. Like I want to win the race. I think. There wasn't a lot of room underneath, and he tried to make it fit, but he was already committed. Like at this point, he's committed. He's gonna make the move. He's already decided he's going low, and yeah, he overdrove it, but it sucks. You don't want to win a race like that, but at the same time, I would make that same move. Maybe I'm a jerk.
Yeah. I don't know. I struggle with that. I guess it depends. I probably would. I'd probably do now and ask forgiveness later. Yeah. I didn't hear. You know what? I didn't hear any of the context. I don't know. I probably if it was me and I did that, I'd probably say, yeah, that was my shot to win. I took it. I hate to get into, whatever. That's not how you want it to go, but I want to win. If that's what I would have said. And if that was said, then I guess, it is what it is. Sucks to be the guy it happens to.
Of course.
You want to be the guy who gets the opportunity to do it. I thought about this quite a bit. maybe we've talked about it on the podcast before. Like
we did. I think we talked about it in a hypothetical, though, that like it would never actually be something that's truth. So seeing the truth here, I guess, makes you think a little bit more about what you would and wouldn't do. I know, Danson, you had quite a few comments. I think some people thought you left the Discord channel. There was a lot of just like random stuff that happened last night. So are you going to give us some untamed thoughts? I mean, it's been a day. Give us something.
I think it was just great racing, and it was a great race, and the race went caution free, and it was just a really great race from everyone.
I've decided to make a slight change to my because since Dan's not going to give us anything, which honestly I'm totally okay with, because if there's one thing I don't enjoy, it's confrontation. So I'm as I was told by someone recently, I'm a softie. So this is good. I think my honest answer, just because everybody wants to only know my answer, no one else's. I think it depends on the person. I think it depends on the person in front of you. Yeah,
I think Sam Nieto's a guy who's been trying to get a win for a long time. Yeah, that's a guy I have a harder time moving out of the way than if it's like Drew or Daniel, like they win like every other week, right? And they're in Road to Pro and all that. So
I'll give you my thoughts. I did leave the Discord, by the way, because just I was just done with it. But as far as my thoughts on that sort of situation at the end of a race. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. Or I'd make a move. Obviously, you're going to make a move, right? Like, you're not just going to sit there behind someone. Making a move is totally understandable. But if I drove down, hit the apron, pushed up into the guy who held his line above me, and knock them out the way as a result, I would just back out of it and give it back to him. Because, like, it's one thing to make an aggressive move or, make a move in general. It's another thing to make a move, stuff up, and then they're the ones that pay the price for it. I feel like that's really shitty. And and that's not just some hypothetical, like really easy for me to say from from the outside without having had that situation. Loudon in the Winter Series was an exact example of that, where I had a run on Daniel at the end, last lap, and I had the choice of either sending it massively or trying to move him or trying to race him properly. And there was no realistic opportunity. There was no send that I could do that would realistically pay off, that wouldn't wreck him. And I certainly wasn't going to move him, because that's not the racing that I believe in. Like if I was in...
So playing devil's advocate though.
Yeah.
Sam, like Adam had a huge run on the backstretch, and Sam made a huge block on him. So at that point, does he invite that a little bit? Like, I mean, that was Adam was going like 10 to 15 miles per hour faster off too, and he lets out of the gas.
Just keep going low. So I mean, like, yes, okay, they were like, Sam was chasing him a little bit, but Sam basically stopped at a certain point. Like, so basically, from what I saw at least, Adam stopped at a certain point. He still had another car and a half width to go down to the painted line, right? But he decided, no, this is where I'm going to stop, maybe expecting that Sam wasn't going to chase him as far. And then, they had a little bit of contact, and that was that. Okay, fair enough. I mean, if that's me, I'm watching the person come down and I'm letting them chase me. If I get to the painted line and they're still trying to come across my nose, then I'm basically, at that point in time, if they turn themselves across my nose, that's on them. I mean, even if you didn't want to let them chase you down all the way, I guess you could just hold your ground at a certain point in time, and if they turn across you, then they turn across you. That's the way it is.
And the funny thing about that, Danson, is I actually gave that, because here I am thinking I'm gonna fucking win. But I did win the practice race that I did. Then I went to the store like that Monday at like the 5 o'clock race. Then I went to the store, and on the way back, I literally was thinking, because I don't know if you saw the Michigan, Cup race, which I was at because I have a racing addiction. But at the end of the stage 2, Austin Dillon went to the bottom of the track. So did Keselowski, and they finished the stage. And then Austin Dillon goes up, and Brad doesn't move his nose, and he gets turned into the wall. Yeah, and that's something that could happen. And I thought, if that's me, at what point do you just decide, You know what I'm going to do? Like if I'm coming off turn 4 and it's the other way around and someone's on my outside and they think that I'm going to go down to the bottom like that, I'm just going to, maybe I just keep it straight. They turn across me. You know, you're making a move. It's like, what is that fine line?
No, I think, if you hold your line, that's a different story.
Yeah.
If you hold your ground,
I agree.
completely different story than driving into the corner,
Yeah.
not making the corner, and then just bodying the guy out the way, and then just being like, fuck it, I'm just going to keep going. Like, to me, that's a different story. And I don't know if I want to say anything more.
No, I get it. I can talk. I love talking. So I
think so. So basically, like I jumped out of the Discord because it was just like it was unproductive at that point. I guess some people can have a there's certain people that in life in general, hypothetical, general statements here, that do a whole bunch of things, and then when that's presented to them, for example, they first of all reject it, and then secondly, there's all these excuses under the sun, for why they're actually the victim. I mean, in that race, I saw a driver who, pushed another guy out onto the track to give him a black flag with, and didn't give a fuck after that, and was blatantly arrogant about it. I saw that same driver, throw on blocks when people had like clear runs on the outside, for example, 2 separate occasions when it's just like, they've got to run.
There may have been those comments on our radio once or twice. Yes.
Yeah. And then just jumps up, like in the middle of the corner, just jumps up and tries to drive him into the wall. It's just like, and then, and then this driver has that situation at the end of the race. And this is also the same driver that's like happily on the radio nonstop, almost every race, it seems, calling someone out and being just generally rude and like about any scenario. Like if I was to reflect on myself, like I'm a dickhead for sure, but like I feel like I'm at least consistent with my application of dickheadery in terms of like when I race, there's and actually there was a comment as well that like it's ironic that someone who's suspended for wrecking or whatever is commenting, which is a fair call. It's a fair call in a certain manner of thinking, but my incident was not through like a lack of
you were suspended in that same race.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to talk about that though. Anyways, so like my situation wasn't like I'm just driving like an ass around people and I'm bodying them out the way and I'm causing a whole bunch of cautions. I mean that one didn't even cause a caution. That's for the pros right there. But like it's mine was just a retaliatory sort of situation, which was foolish and all that sort of thing. Okay, I totally accept that, but I don't think you can compare the two scenarios at all because there's like I feel like I race with like I look at you guys, the 3 of you right here, and I can say categorically like let me try it again categorically that I've I've never had like contact with any of you. The only sort of contact that I can think of was Daytona when I didn't have the spotter and Andrew coming through the field at Coda. In that situation though, I was there and he turned across me, but it's still contact that I regret. Like I don't know. In my mind, it's a completely different story. But
it's okay. Let me step in because I see where you're going with that. So you got suspended. You came out and vehemently like apologized over and over and over again for your actions and what you did. And what's frustrating is history, right? So 18 races, 4 caused cautions, 0 claims.
Yeah, true.
18 races. 1 suspension, an appeal, and no real understanding of the why, right? Yeah. No admission, right?
Yeah.
Racing like he did at Michigan with my accident, no not feeling apologetic at all, just kind of like, well, it was there, right? And I think you can race like a dick, right? You can be that person. And if you apologize after, if you show any signs of improvement or any sort of guilt, right, then we're all people. That's why we're doing the podcast, is see people are, maybe you get in that car and you're just kind of like a different person, right? Like, and sometimes I get competitive. I was bitching on the radio. I don't like being that guy. And the issue is around holding yourself accountable, right? And I don't think we've seen that with Adam, which is what makes these actions frustrating. It's why we're talking about it right now. Yeah. Certainly, I would love for Adam to come on at some point. The last 10 shows we're doing are going to be all with playoff drivers. He's locked in the playoffs now. I'm certainly open to hearing his side as well. But that's the issue. People don't even care if you drive like a dick on the track, but you're showing no accountability for your actions. And again, like I said earlier, if you're going to make super aggressive moves, they're going to piss people off. And at the end of the day, you're going to continue doing that and you're going to piss people off. And you're not going to show any accountability by raising your hand when other people say it's your fault, hence the caution reviews at the end of every race and the suspension, then people aren't going to like you. People are going to be frustrated. There's going to be
just laugh at the chat.
Chat in the Discord.
Yeah, that's right.
His mom to win. Yeah.
I think like I said, obviously I jumped out. I don't know. Maybe I was out of line. I don't know. I don't think so, because I mean, all I really said was that he. I responded to his thing where he was like, I did that, but I was just like, that's what I got to do. And like, it wasn't genuine. I said this, this would be believable if you didn't do this all the time, whatever. And then it went back and forth. I mean, I made a point actually of stating that there was nothing, as far as I was concerned, there's nothing that I was talking about related to him as an individual, like him as a person, or him in real life, just specifically the iRacing persona. I mean, because like anything that happens on the virtual racetrack is not a representation of that person.
I thought it was a direct representation of that person.
Well, that's true. Exactly.
100%. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing though, is it's not the on the track stuff that's the most frustrating. That's
what I'm most frustrated about. I mean, he can be a butthole all he wants, like, but just race normal. That's fine.
So,
you know what I mean? Like,
so actually we Nick, that's not myself. So I know I think you mentioned we talked a little bit about I know you're looking for a win. Obviously, you're a champion.
Yes.
I'll praise Nick Silver. But in RSR, the Cup Series, I know you're still looking for a win. So, you're put in that position. What do you do? Does it matter who it is that makes you maybe decide that, what your decision is as well?
Yeah, Nick Silver does have an RSR win. We need to clarify that. I have the clip. I think Nick Silver, you said surprise me. So I have your winning clip from 2016. So
you've been deep for that one, huh?
Yeah.
I did. It's Evan from 2016. I think we'd all love to hear this one, right? So
hold on. But before you,
before you get into that, yes, we got to answer the question.
Well, I mean, I agree with Matt. Looking at that replay there, I wouldn't just stop there. I don't know if he was trying to side draft him or if he was just going to let Sam, spin himself off his nose or what. But personally, I would have just gone further down than running into the guy's left rear for no reason and screwing up my own momentum.
Yeah.
And judging from the replay, it looks he obviously hits the apron and that's what shoots him up into Sam. And I mean, if that's what happens, just say, hey, I fucked up. I'm sorry I got into you, not, you fed me the left rear. I'm feeding you the right rear. And, it is what it is. Like, Sam saying in the chat here, all you got to say is you screwed up. I'm sorry. I didn't want to win that way, But I don't know.
And that's where my thing is. Like, if someone says, I didn't want to win that way, like, there's every chance for him right now to be out of the bottle. You know what I mean? Like, if he didn't want to win that way, he doesn't have to.
Yeah. But I mean, just a little remorse goes a long way.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Like you said, I don't want to shit on the guy. I don't know any specific incidents, where he's totally wronged me. But every time I'm around him, he was in an A fixed race with us, a few days ago. And, I tell the guys, look out, here comes Adam. And, that's for a reason. Your reputation precedes you. And it's because he's always seems like he's a little bit of a wrecking ball, overly aggressive, doing stupid moves. And like you said, he doesn't seem to really give a shit. And that's, I think, what the bad thing is.
Let's think about Joey Logano to Matt Kenseth in real life in 2015, right?
Mm-hmm.
That mindset got wrecked at Martinsville, cost him a championship. So we've seen it play out in real life, what you guys are saying. So,
I just gotta say, Matt, you were, I was kind of disappointed you jumped out of the argument there, because I think you were pretty much on point with what you were saying. And, I don't like the excuses. Like you said, you can make up the excuse for why you ran into that guy under caution all you want, but if that's your excuse, why were you out there racing to begin with? I just don't buy it. And he was, trying to turn it into a personal attack when it wasn't.
Yeah. Thank you.
Validated.
I think sometimes we maybe have an off opinion. So it's good to hear, Silver, you agreeing with kind of the direction we're going in. And I think I did get some comments from some people after the race, just kind of aligned. So I think that's a general feeling. I don't think it's just us. So yeah. So with that, are we wrapping up Michigan? Does anyone have some leftover shit they want to get out before we're done with Michigan?
Hey, if you guys want less drama, just come to the back with us. We deal with our own stuff. Nobody sees it on camera. Okay, so
we were back there this race. Where were you?
I was in the front. It was so odd.
They came back to hang out with us. We went to the party.
Yeah, man. I told you. I always say the party's in the mid pack, baby. That's where the party's going. So
wait, hang on. Did I completely blank? Did we watch the clip yet?
What clip?
The silver clip.
The race? No, we did not see Silver's first win clip yet. No, I think we're wrapping up Michigan.
Okay. We're going to go back to it. Well, congratulations. Congratulations, Adam de Blasio. Good win. Great paint scheme to win in, I'll say that. I think everybody here can agree with that. I know Silver and I can agree with that at the very least. So,
I'll give him that. That's fine. Good paint scheme. Yep.
It is good. Hey, Rainbow Warriors. We all love those, and
I think that's what the toughest thing about it is too. Is he's running that Rainbow Warrior.
That's true. That's a throwback scheme before the throwback schemes are announced. So
I don't even think he was born by then. I don't know.
When the car was running?
I think so.
I think he's at 27, so that would put him at mid 90s.
Yeah. So he would. That makes sense. The driver you grow up sort of thing is pretty cool. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably not when that scheme was around though, but yeah.
Yeah, I barely remember that scheme. I'm a 31-year-old who looks like he's 24. So yeah.
24.
I think so. I think the Spirit has looking younger than ever.
Let's be realistic.
26 tops. Come on.
He can be 24 if he shaves.
If I shaved, this is per request. It's itchy as hell, Dance, and I'm gonna need some beard grooming tips. I've never done it in my life, so if you could just
let it grow and hope for the best.
Yeah, see, that's not what I want to do. I want it to actually. That's good to know.
Well, your brother's got a bit of a beard action going on. He's got like a chin strap.
It's more patchy, but it's not a dancing beard, but it's something. Yeah,
mine's a little better. So next week I'm gonna show up with an arm sleeve.
Hi, Alex. What's up?
Oh, she's in the podcast this time. So last week she joined us after the podcast was supposed to be on. Yeah, is she going to join the podcast this time?
No, if she's got more memes that she wants. Okay. Yeah, if she wants more memes,
she's run away.
Share. Tell her to share some more memes for me. Okay, I'll give her. She could PM me a little more than you do with the memes that we were talking about last week. They're all gold and they're all true. So anyway, So I guess we'll. Could we just wrap up Michigan and just hope that nobody gets anything in their DMs.
Yeah, bury those feelings at some point. I'm sure they'll be.
Hey, it was a great race. It was a great race, a great finish. Caution free. It was a great race.
Who would have thought?
Yep.
Not me.
I'm so proud of you for the 3-way tie for pole. That was
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, I really wish that like the race spot people and the RSR people would have just flipped they could have flipped Seth and I around and nobody would have been any the wiser. He doesn't need another pole. He doesn't give a shit.
Nick, do you know what's really funny? As much as you talk about Altus all the time, you've actually got a pretty good following within the Altus Oval team. Just in terms of just for your like incessant requests to join, that like people actually like everyone literally like the Altus Oval team know who the Maras are, just like specifically because of you, and like actually want to see you do well. So both of you, that is, but specifically because of your just badgering.
Could you imagine if I was in the Altus?
Not gonna happen.
I took over your paint scheme and number, and then qualified second in your car.
I would be devastated. Well, actually, I'd be happy that you were P2, but when you then drop to the back, I'd be devastated.
It was like 10. I would hardly say the back, but I will say it was funny because we go off the grid, and of course, there's Seth in the Altus car. The first thing I think of is, damn, really wish I had that Altus paint scheme right now. That would have been so sick.
Yeah.
That would have literally been the highlight of my sim life. I don't even care what would have happened. But it's just the one race. That would have been my chance. I would have been like,
you'd have the screen, you'd have the background on your computer, on your phone. You'd been like, I did that race.
05. It still would have said dancing, because we're always still for the driver. I'm just a substitute. I'm not the replacement yet. That's 2022, but that's not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, you tell your friends. Tell them all I qualified second, okay? And I tied
Altus actually did get a new recruit last week on our road side, but guess what his number choice is?
40.
Yeah. So unfortunately that kind of I think pushes you out.
Well, yeah, you said road. You said road, right? So
yeah,
that could be the 40 on oval.
The numbers are like, so if even
you run it between series.
Yeah, like you still carry that number. So for example, like 30, no one else would have 30, and no one else would have 57 of what Seth has. For example, like it's all, that's designated for that person.
Okay, well, that's good enough for me. I guess if you just tell me what number I need to change for 2022, and I'll make it happen. So, when you're taking your next oval recruit, just hey, now we know ovals that you barely have to lift off the gas and A fixed. Sign me up. I'll do all the Altus part-time for that. I'll give you a reasonable show. So
restrictor plate ace.
More Nick. Yeah. So
wait, so you think would you call yourself a restrictor plate ace?
No, I would not.
Okay.
I would call myself I'm really good at high-speed tracks or like in the trucks. Intermediates where you just like at Michigan, you're off the gas a little bit, but it's not too much. Mm-hmm. That's the type of track where I seem to do really well on. And every not like the best in RSR, but also out of my 27 wins, I probably have like 20 and those type of tracks. It's very consistent. So
you can keep up momentum with the best of them.
I can keep up with that. It's not sexy. There's nothing sexy
with the best of them.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing sexy about that. Well, the tracks that everybody's pissed about because of the package. That's where I'm like, okay, I got a chance this week because I actually kind of like it. So, competition wise. So, but yeah. So that was that. I guess we'll go to Matt. Where are we going now? Where do you want us to go?
Should we talk IROC? We didn't talk. We missed IROC. We missed the episode last week. So sorry, everyone. Big thanks to Comcast for blowing my internet last week. Spent about an hour and a half trying to get it fixed. And it was just an internet issue. So there's only so much I could do. Reboot the modem so many times. Of course, woke up in the morning. Everything was working fantastically. So anyone who's been on the show knows I do my spiel at the beginning with the guest and say, okay, hey, this is what happens if we have technical issues. And I'm always knocking the wood. And I felt like I knocked on the wood when I said that to you, Silver, last week, but maybe I didn't knock on it hard enough, and we had some issues last week. So apologize to everyone. I really look forward to Tuesday nights, in case anyone couldn't tell. So disappointed that didn't work out, but we had a good convo afterwards. We basically still had a podcast and stayed up too late last week and just did it off air. So, but obviously wanted to spend some time talking IROC. Nick, you broadcasted the race. I do want to talk about that. But I think we should go to our champion. I finished 5th. I was excited about that. I got to talk on the broadcast, though, so nobody needs to really hear any more from me. So Silver, tell us about your ride last week and your ride to that championship, because there was points in time where you weren't going to be the champion if the race had ended.
Yeah, first of all, I got to go back and watch that broadcast. I still haven't, and I forgot,
Not even for you. For
we
me.
had a special one going on there.
I was freaking gold. Oh my God. So voice of an angel.
I'll watch it tonight. I'll watch it later tonight. But yeah, I don't know. It started off pretty well. I think I started like right behind Dylan, or he started right behind me, one way or the other. But I was hanging right behind him the whole race. The points are so confusing in that series. I'm just like, well, I just know he can't win. I can't finish more than one spot behind him. He can't lead most laps, whatever. But then, cautions started coming out. We all got off on different tire strategies. And I thought that I had the better tire strategy than Dylan. I think I had the fresh tires after him. And I was up there. I don't know if it was like fourth or third or something. And, Jeremy Miller, man, that freaking guy. I knew something was going to happen.
He asks for the shit to be given to him. Like, he'll actively seek it. You're like, I think I might have bumped you like 3 weeks ago, so I'd like you to talk shit about me. Can you please do that? So yes, please feed that out.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's every freaking race. He holds me up. He races me, like for 30th, like it's for first on lap 5 or some shit, And so he gets the wall, and of course I get into the back of him. And it wasn't too hard, but I knew it was enough that I was going to have some aero damage, and there was too much to go in the rest of the race. So I decided to pit. Didn't have a ton of damage, so I didn't really want to waste my fast repair there, because I still thought they were going to wreck big. And then I just tried to get too cute with it. I think I took no fuel or just a little bit of fuel. I don't know if I had no tires left or whatever.
Tires too, weren't you? I think you the first couple times you pitted, or maybe it was the 2 times you came in to fix damage, you got no tires, I think, right?
I think I got no tires maybe on like the first stop, but I think I was out of tires by that point. Or no, I took the new tires then. But with the no fuel, it was just too tight. And then the damage was still affecting me. Had no speed on the straightaway, so I couldn't make any moves. So I'm just kind of sitting there, tight as hell, watching Dylan just pick them off one by one. I thought it was pretty much over, and then luckily we got that caution, so I ended up pitting. I was out of tires, but I filled it up, took my fast repair, and it felt really good after that, but I just got stuck in the pack and still couldn't make any moves. And Dylan, was inching forward, by a couple. And then I think he ended up getting hit in that last wreck there. So I knew I had a shot, even though they gave him a spot back in front of me. But then, all of a sudden he pulls off the track and, toes. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And, he said he ran out of fuel. So it's.
Yeah, Dylan, we did miss this. Dylan did inch up the track actually into me. So I guess we'll show this real quick.
Oh, do we not talk about this already?
We talked about this last week in the 10 minutes before we went off air. Yeah.
Wait, is this when you wrecked Dylan?
No.
Yeah, that's where I wrecked Dylan.
This is when I ended Dylan's championship hopes. Yes.
I can't believe you did that.
Exactly.
So was that last wreck? No, it wasn't, huh?
No,
that was earlier in the race.
Honestly, Nick, Matt, you were talking about something completely different, and Matt was like, let me just throw this accident.
Yeah, I just need to throw it. No, that was a different wreck. Yes, that was completely different wreck. Yes. Yeah. So the Dylan one you were speaking to was later in the race. Yes. That was the first one, and Dylan was like, okay, well, he ended up claiming it, but he was thinking about not claiming it because he didn't have to. But yes.
Oh yeah, I do remember him claiming one. Yeah, I think that's where it ended up shifting in my favor a little. But I felt really crappy that he ran out of fuel. That's a real shitty way to lose the championship. And I wish we could have raced for it. Like I said, he was out racing me most of the race, but in a way he kind of paid me back for me missing the race. So I guess it all ended up, kind of even, but I don't know. I mean, I'll take it how I can get it. It's my first championship since 2012 in anything, I guess. So, take them when they come.
Matt, why don't we have some sort of like confetti, graphic going off or something to like celebrate.
I was thinking we should all take a shot or
a
something for the
celebration.
championship, or like I was gonna like ask Silver for his address because that would be really weird, and like send him a bottle of champagne or something. I'm not sponsoring the series.
A model what?
A bottle of champagne.
Oh.
And then he can do his victory celebration.
Yeah, well, let's just give a round of applause. Let's just give a well done. Good job. Congrats.
Champion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I rewatched the RSR Twitter and Facebook posting of the finish. It had nothing to do with you. It had everything to do with me. But really, it seemed like you did some really solid work. So really good job. That was a good. That was a good. You had to work for it. It seemed like, for sure. Does that make it any more rewarding, or does winning just doesn't really matter at that point once you win?
I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be.
Hang on. Trophy coming soon.
I didn't know there was an IROC trophy. Very interesting.
Oh, really?
Hell yeah.
Is that for my? Is the trophy for my?
The trophy's coming soon. Yeah.
Was the trophy for my beautiful production and performance in the booth, or is it for Nick Silver's championship? It's which Nick is getting the trophy. I think we know the answer to that. So.
Well, that's pretty cool. I would have been happy with a PDF certificate or something.
Yeah. Well, Silver, I'm curious now that Evan doesn't have to pay like hundreds of dollars worth of shipping costs. I wonder if your trophy is going to be much bigger than whatever got sent to Danson's apartment. So we'll, I guess we'll have to stay tuned. I'm excited to see it. How do you feel now? You're going to get a trophy. Where are you going to put it? You're going to replace that Jeff Gordon picture on the background with the trophy?
I don't know. I'll have to find a good place for it. Right there looks pretty good, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll just move Jeff up a little bit.
True. Yeah. Well, Jeff is king, so that makes a lot of sense. So,
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. That was a lot of fun to watch. I will say for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a fun season, and it was cool getting. I don't win very much either, so I mean, it was cool getting one win at Daytona. Kind of lucked into that, and then actually raced for it and got in Chicago. Beat Sam. I thought he was going to get me for sure. So that one was a little more rewarding winning that one, or not Chicago, Kansas, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you won Kansas and Daytona, right? Kansas, I remember not being in that race, watching it, but not being.
Daytona was my epic motion ride, where I thought I could have won.
You were first up top, right?
Yeah. So I had the half second where. So first off, I'm never in position to win. So when Dominic and I were side by side coming to one lap to go, I had zero actually expectations of winning, and I wasn't as nervous as I thought. Daytona IROC.
It was the motion.
We're back here again.
Motion Mara, yes.
Well, you know what, Matt? This is a big anniversary for Matt. We're going back to the scene of the crime. We're going back to
Daytona. Yeah.
Last time yeah. That's going to be a storyline. Matt Morrow returns to the place of his almost fatal accident.
So just going back to the IROC Championship decider.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a big wreck towards the end as well? Like there was a massive wreck.
I think that was the one maybe that Dylan was in.
Yeah, how'd that one occur?
I don't remember who caused that.
I feel like you want us to say something, but I don't know who.
No. I'm just trying to remember because Evan was in it. What happened? Do you have the replay?
That was the Liam Evan accident. I don't have that.
Oh, did Liam wreck someone again? That's crazy. That's insane.
I didn't get to witness it, but Brandon was pretty heartbroken that Evan got wrecked there.
I think we were all heartbroken. We were all rooting for Evan. I think, especially with being on the Race Spot broadcast, I think secretly everybody's rooting for the Race Spot TV guys.
Yeah,
and I think
he was just so he didn't want to do anything. He was just devastated.
IROC will do that for you. IROC is where hearts are broken, except for Nick Silver.
Yeah, exactly. See, Evan with Evan throwing shade, but it's true. I don't know. Look, maybe
well-deserved. Yeah,
maybe
well-deserved shade.
Maybe Liam's ping was too high in that race or something. I don't know, because he came and did a race in an Aussie league, and apparently it was the ping that caused him to wreck half the field. But so maybe his ping was too high in that race as well.
Danson, you better watch yourself, Danson, because as you know, apparently Liam could just show up on the show at any moment. So.
Yeah, true. Exactly. He'll show up here on Wreckasol.
I think I'd really like a Liam Danson road course battle. Just like 5 laps, no holds barred.
Well, you got to watch the Roval series. They had some of those battles. I think Danson won every single one of those. So.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and then Liam stopped showing up because he can only win the road races when I'm not there.
You're the worst. Congratulations, Danson, on another successful victory in championship, doing something somewhere. So this is not about you, though. This is about Nick Silver.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is Nick.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah.
We asked for the rec, so we're going to get it. I don't know how the quality. It's looking pretty choppy, so it doesn't look like it wants to work with us. But I tried. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's coming out that good. But yeah, I think they'll get back to the replay here. It looks like it's smoothing out a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
And then, so Evan was saying, because it goes the onboard shot of him, and he's very sad. And then apparently we just missed him. Yeah, see, look at this. Oh,
there we go. Yeah.
Like all of the viewers were writing, like everyone's heart was collectively breaking seeing this. Oh man.
There it is. Oh, you hate to see it. Yeah, that's what happens, when you have a camera. We're all like that. Most of us are like that. You just don't have the camera to see it, So
yeah,
it's true. Yeah,
it was hard to announce. I think I said it during the broadcast for that race specifically. I think he had Liam, Seth, and Brandon Bowie right behind him. Like 3 of the top guys in the series. So it was an impressive drive. Just didn't work out at the end. So not bad for a full-time commentator. Part-time driver, honestly. So yeah, I think should I talk a little bit about my
yeah I was gonna say anyway, you were talking about Evan being full-time commentator, part-time driver. So I think, Nick, maybe you have something you want to share with us. Yeah.
Well, what I'll share is that I said impressive and interesting a little too much. Those are my buzzwords. I did not enjoy how many times I said that in the broadcast. When I was rewatching myself, I was like, I hope you don't say that's impressive or interesting again, and I did. But it was honestly, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot. I think we were talking about this off the chat. It was a lot easier to be the color commentator than it was to be the lead announcer, because it's a lot easier to kind of think of your thoughts. And especially once the race starts, your job is really just to talk about what you're seeing, which is so easy to do when it's something that you enjoy watching. I've been to the last 2 races, and all I did was talk out loud to anybody in the grandstand that wanted to hear. So very similar. So now I got to talk to people. So it was a lot of fun. Nolan was such a pro. The problem is I didn't know that TeamSpeak had a chat the whole time. So I feel like I would say Nolan's name just to know that, like, you take it back. But I didn't know you could actually converse and say what you're maybe going to say. Otherwise, I would have used the chat to do that a little more. So why are you looking at me like that, Danson?
I'm just confused. Liam in the chat, he's saying that I'm all of a sudden quite salty. And he's like, I wonder why.
You are.
I wonder why as well. Have you beat me in something? Right, keep going, Nick. It's all good.
I like the I like the shirt. I like the shirt idea because that was pretty interesting. There's a lot of people that you could just throw that for pretty much anybody. There's like half the people in our field, including you can just throw. There's a lot of weapons. So yeah, no, that was pretty much it. It was it was a lot of fun. I enjoy that. I enjoy that side of it. Racing is a lot of fun.
Wait, sorry. In the chat, they want an American accent. Wait, are we allowed? We're allowed to swear, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, Rowden. You fucking accuser. There you go. How's that? How's that one?
There you go.
Who wants that again, Danson?
Motherfucker. There you go. That's my American accent.
Do people do American accents there to make fun of us? Like, is that?
Yeah, pretty much. Only to make fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say because it sounds like, I mean, it sounds good, but it sounds like our accents of American are accents that people would make fun of specifically. Like, I don't think you would talk like that just for any good reason. other than make fun of us. So interesting, fascinating.
It's always like that real sort of like that kind of, what do you call, like a Chad, I guess, like that real.
Yeah. I was getting
voice.
a Chad.
That's the American one. Yeah.
I was getting the Chad from you. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what's the Australian? What's the Australian version? Like,
Well, I guess whenever Americans try to do Aussie, it's always like, "Oh yeah, how's it going, mate?" or whatever, something like that.
Just like me. Sounds like me from my Outback Steakhouse days. How I greeted every customer for 7 years. Yeah.
Go,
Exactly.
try. Have a try.
You know what? It's dead now. I killed the accent when I left. You know, a part of me died when I left the restaurant. You know, so no more kangaroo, no more accent. I'm done with it now. So maybe I'll have to work on it for you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. American too classy. I like that. Yeah, we never make fun of Australian accents, for sure. So, what do we talk about, Matt? Guide us next. What do we talk about?
I'm just gonna make the comment. I think the race bot stuff for you deserves to be talked about as a little bit of an accomplishment. So, I do have a little bit of a graphic here. I know maybe you're not jumping out wanting to talk about it, but I'll brag for you. So Nick was invited back to be a part of the RaceBot TV crew in future races.
I'm just on the Discord in case.
And you have the opportunity to jump in some other races as available. So I think that's a pretty awesome opportunity you got. So I'll put it out there as a way to go, Nick, because I think you did a great job with especially the last one. I think you dealt with Dance and I in the first one. You did a really nice job with Nolan in the last one when we had the technical issues figured out. So I'll pat your back on that one. So looking forward to you maybe probably not doing the RSR races because you'll be in them, but doing maybe some other races. So we'll be on the lookout if any openings show up.
Wait, hang on. Sorry, I blanked. Are you doing the truck series?
I don't know if that's. I don't really know.
We're in the middle on the truck series. So we can
broadcast the truck series.
I don't know. Really.
Okay, so this is something we've talked about internally, but I mean, I guess we're all family here, so we talk about it. So, we've talked about. I would like the truck series to be a broadcasted league. Obviously, we'd all like it to be on RaceBot TV, but there's a lot that goes into making RaceBot TV. Like, it costs a lot of money. That's why we have great sponsors. So we had talked about, we've got the crew here about possibly broadcasting the truck races. Now, I don't know that we've made a decision on that. I feel like I would have to produce. I kind of want to run for the championship in the truck series. I like the schedule. So I'm on the fence. Nick, I know you're on the fence too. So we might. So when we make a decision, we'll let everyone know. But we might broadcast the truck races. We'll broadcast them right here, and I'll likely update the Twitch name and all that. We'll expand the scope of what we're doing a little bit and broadcast some races. So that might be coming. The first race is next Wednesday, so we have to make it.
Have you tried to broadcast a race yet to see what your quality?
Yes. I did not put the offer out there without making sure I could put all the graphics together and all that. Yes. So I have the tools.
You should just make that your career moving forward.
I like racing though, so
sometimes you go,
especially should we look at the schedule? I do want to get back to some Nick Silver stuff, but we do have a schedule release. If anyone's wondering what the truck series schedule is,
do it.
Yeah, the truck thing. Just from a time standpoint, I'm a very busy human being, so that's it's being pulled in so many directions. Man, I am now.
Yucky.
Silver, you had the instant reaction there. What are you thinking?
Oh, I know certain Sean Casto is going to be over the moon about Concord. I don't know. I don't know why, but that dude loves Concord, and we never race it, so that's pretty awesome.
What's Concord? Is that a short track?
That's another short track.
Little triangle short track, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's a good schedule. I like it. Don't know about Knoxville, though.
Yeah, you got a couple the classics. You got the restrictor plate, anyone can win at the beginning. You've got Homestead, which is generally just a multi-group fun track. And the four middle ones are just, you got a dirt track and you got 3 short tracks. I really like this schedule. I pretty much begged Evan to do a dirt track. So if I'm not racing that race, that doesn't really make sense. So I really want to race Knoxville, but I have to find a nice way to tell my wife that I also need Wednesday nights to do iRacing now. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. It's only 6 weeks. So I think everybody should come out because this is going to be a lot of fun. We're just going to be Adam de Blasio every turn and just give no fucks, and we're gonna have some fun. So, because it's Truck Series racing, we're real sim racing, so we should go be some outlaws and have some fun. No pun intended.
Yeah. Can you just send me your stuff so that I'll broadcast it?
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you
can.
can race.
Yeah. We can work through this. Yeah, I like the idea. So I've got this set up. You probably have a beefy computer that can do it. So
I mean, it's okay, but I'm sure it'd be good enough. But because I'd much rather broadcast that than race it because all those tracks are poopy. But yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah.
Hey, if you need an in-race reporter.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Who are you broadcasting with?
Just me. Just me, myself, and I. What more could you ask for?
Sure. Well, I don't think you need anything else.
Are you going to race, Nick?
Yeah, what are you doing, Nick?
I am very uncommittal to.
Okay, then broadcast with me. The two of us. Matt, Matt off, he can race.
That is going to be what I would call as TV gold. We will have our own network, and Dancing Matt maybe has a logo for his little network thing. I saw it, so it's basically taking. But let me get back. I will probably do a couple. I just with the things I was telling you about last week off the air, I need to spend a little bit. I can't be spending like 4 days a week committed to the sim. So unless I'm getting paid for it. So Dan said, if you're gonna pay me, like my per diem is $500 for every broadcast. You're gonna pay me that?
I'm not paying you. Your brother can.
I don't care where the check's coming from. I just need it. So.
I just bought you a hoodie. So maybe take that as your payment. And I think everybody. So big shout out to Tom Morano, who I think I saw you listening here. Thank you for setting up our boosted store. We have a store just like RSR did, where you can buy after the turns gear. I don't really care if you buy it or not, but it would be really awesome to see some of you out here. I got my after the turns shirt here. I'm wearing it tonight. Got a hoodie.
Sorry,
I'm giving it away.
You need to move the text along the bottom. I feel like you need to move that to be even on the right hand side, or on the left hand. It seems strange that or it just needs to go span the full thing. It seems strange that it kind of stops inward on either side.
Yeah.
But
what are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
The picture.
Oh, the logo?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a draft. Yeah, the one I sent from the Discord.
I like
now,
it. Yeah.
The name of the network may have some copyright infringement, so you may be getting.
I looked it up. There is not. I mean, it's an acronym. It's an acronym. There's no copyright infringement.
I love that you looked it up.
There are yes. If you can do a quick Google search, there's plenty of others out there. So yes, let's get I'm down. After the turns.club for the shirt for the gear. So yes, that's great stuff.
After turns club.
The club. Yeah.
Takeover begins. So now we have the store. Then as soon we're gonna have the race announcement. The after the turns 200 or the after the turns 250.
Working on that too. Yeah.
Is the Truck Series sponsored by After the Turns? Has that happened yet? It's going to happen. I feel like it's going to happen. Not yet. Okay, we got 7 days of the announcement. I can't wait to see what day that happens. I know nothing. I actually know nothing, but it's not going to surprise me when I get tagged in a Twitter that says that we're sponsoring the series. All the trucks that race the series and all of it. I know that's what's going to happen. So I'm curious to see if anybody Matt, will you know if anybody buys our gear?
Yeah. So we do get a commission payout, which I mean, I told Tom I don't need to make money on the store, but just boosted, doing boosted things. So we do get a percentage of the profits. I think it's a small amount. The gear is pretty reasonably priced. So,
and jacking those prices
honestly,
up.
like,
whew, Matt and I need to start winning some races so then we can jack the prices up of the.
We're not trying to make money here, but there is a decent amount of time. I think everyone who's watched the show knows there's a decent amount of time put into doing the show, getting the graphics. There was an investment to doing all this. So I'm not going to feel bad if we make a little bit of money, but that's definitely not the goal. So yeah, I will know if people buy. I know Tom bought some stuff. I bought a couple. What, Danson?
How much does it cost for the Matt Danson signed hoodie or shirt? What's the cost on that? I want one of those.
We'll have to do it like we'll have to do an autograph signing, and we'll put a tweet out, and Danson will have like a desk full of after the turns hoodies, and we'll show him signing it. We'll get like the legit pick, and you'll get it graded and all that, whatever the autograph stuff is. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Chills. Or, you could do one of those virtual signings where we just send you like a screenshot of like you winning something and then you sign it and send it back. And then we're all happy. They were doing that during coronavirus. Just something Matt Danson signed that I could hang up in my apartment. That's really all that I want. So
yeah, and I want to reiterate what Tom said in the chat. I was surprised because when I bought my RSR hoodie, it took about a month, and I bought the shirt like last Wednesday, and it came on Friday. I bought Nick's hoodie on Thursday last week, and it came today. So you buy it now, you'll have it by next episode. So
I got it yesterday.
You got it yesterday, yeah. So very, very quick shipping. So yeah, go support Boosted and Tom and us. That'd be awesome. And it is really high quality shirts. Like I'm a bigger guy, so like finding a comfortable shirt is difficult, and it feels real nice. So I could always use a good t-shirt.
Cool.
Yeah. Wow. So I feel like I do want to talk more Nick Silver. We did talk about how we have the 2016 win queued up, where I know we're going to show the replay and it's going to lag a whole lot, but we're going to try. But first I'm going to show some stats. I'm going to show some stats. And Nick Silver, you had mentioned this earlier in that you got a lot of success in the IROC series, and that was nice because the Cup series hasn't been a little bit more difficult, and the Winter series too. I know you competed in. Can you talk about that a little more? I've got some stats up here. 5 starts in the IROC series, 2 wins, 3 top 3s, and a championship. And as in RSR, between the Cup series and the Winter series, a lot of starts way before Nick and I's time, and just that 1 win back in 2016, and that does not tell the story because you have 8 or 9 second place finishes, the 19 top 3s, like a quarter of your starts almost. Well, I guess that's like a quarter of your starts were top 5 finishes. Like you're consistently up front. Why do you think it is that it's been harder to get into the winter circle in the Cup and the Winter series?
I mean, I don't want to say the competition's higher, but, there's a few more guys that are always at the top. And, I've gotten close, but I've never quite got the luck to pull off the win or quite, taking the risk on the strategy or whatever that needs to put me up front there. I guess I need to take more risks, but I don't know. I mean, it's just, you got the Andrews, you got the Everharts, back in the day. I think this video you're going to pull up here with Scott Eckridge, these guys dominate.
Yeah.
It's hard to squeeze out a win, with these guys. So I'm always there, but never quite get it.
Where's the Danson shout out? Come on, Nick. You know what? So obviously I joined the whole scene. Obviously, I don't know how long you've been in RSR for, but when I joined in the Winter series, I remember when I sort of noticed you was IRP. If memory serves, you drove great there. I think you finished P2, didn't you? You and I were battling right to the end.
You were hounding me.
Yeah. I was desperate. I couldn't get it done. But yeah, that was
Nick.
You had the Nickelodeon
Silver, you seem to be the guy. Nick, I know you've said Nick Mara. I know you've said this too. Is like Silver's been running in the back with us like half the race. How do you finish in the top 5?
Oh my God, I know. I'll see you finish like 3rd or 4th, and I'm like, hell, we were running like 25th together. How did you get up there?
I don't know. There's always some shit that happens to me like middle of the race, and I end up going to the back for some reason. Freaking, you guys will say I only have 1 win in RSR, but I'm counting Richmond this year as a win because I had no sound, had to turn off iRacing under caution, reload it back up, went 3 laps down, and came back to finish second. And that was a damn win to me. So
I was also like 2 or 3 laps down, and I think at a point in that race, I remember thinking I was racing you to be the lucky dog 3 laps down, and then you finished second. And I was like, man, does that mean I would have finished second if I would have gotten a lucky dog when I was 3 laps down? Obviously,
in the chat and off the chat. That's just a no. You'll have redemption. You'll have redemption. You're gonna have. I'm so happy for you. You get redemption in a couple weeks. You and the pit wall. You can save yourself from that situation.
Sorry, can we go back? Was Pocono? Was that you that was right there for the win this year, Nick?
Yeah, behind Brandon. Yeah, I got a little bit of damage in that race too. Like I said, something always happens to me, but I had a little bit of damage in that one, and honestly, I wouldn't really have been as close as I was if Sean wasn't helping me. He was really trying to, push me, try to get me that win or whatever, get past Brandon. But the freaking damage was just a little too much on the straightaways. I can't quite get to him.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I remember I was watching that unfold, and I thought you guys were just running line astern just to bring it to the line. But then when I watched it back later, I saw you were having a good go at it. But
yeah, I tried. Yeah, I got kind of close there. Maybe one more lap. I don't know, but
yeah. Oh well. Hopefully you can pick one up later.
At Richmond, part of me is like secretly hoping that Matt runs into the pit barrels again at Richmond.
He's had a lot of issues with pit entries.
The pits are not his friend. Going off, getting out of pit road, going into pit road.
Yeah.
Getting into his pits in pit road. It's just honestly, it's just a plain old disaster. So it's I think we've had like 4 green flag pit stops this whole year in RSR, and I think he's had problems on 4 green flag pit stops this year. So so he got up just so he could show his after the turn shirt on the way back down. So yeah.
Oh, that's what I did. You have we're an hour and a half in. I'm drinking. Like I don't understand how you guys don't have to run to the bathroom, but props to the ladders.
Can we get that clip? The throwback clip?
I'm ready.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's breaking up. Let me work on it. I'll work on getting better audio. I think the main point is we need the audio, and it was breaking up there. So let me work on that. Yeah, I don't know. My computer has not been operating as well.
We can do it in like stop motion if you want.
Yeah, that's my favorite type of replays. That's why we haven't
been playing ones. Yeah.
That's why we haven't been playing it. That's exactly what
I think we don't really care about the video. We just want the audio, right? So maybe I'll just blast the audio. We can listen to the audio.
Kind of wanted to see.
No, I like looking at that paint scheme. That was a good call.
Oh, Silver had a huge lead. Yeah, Silver had a pretty big lead. So I could try. We could do stop motion and hope it catches up. And then I got to look because I would have had to figure it out this week for the recorded segment with Steve Durham for Whose Fault Is It Anyways? But, had it planned with Steve, we were going to record the segment after the race.
Yeah.
And the race ended and there were no cautions. So I was like, okay, I guess I can go to bed. Wasn't ready to go to bed because my phone was vibrating till like 12:30 in the morning with all the confrontation on Discord. So I didn't fall asleep, but I had the opportunity to go to bed early because there were no accidents. So we'll do that next week. Everybody look out for that.
What if we don't crash?
Okay, let's try. There should be lots of. I don't know if it's very single file. Maybe there won't be cautions, but we'll see.
So are we pulling?
I pressed the wrong button here. I'm going to try again.
Okay, you're lagging a little bit. So
is my audio lagging or just the video?
It's kind of a both, I think.
Okay, 1 second.
I want to see Nick. So, Nick, where did you get this win?
Indianapolis.
Oh, cool.
Okay, let's try this again.
Okay, let's do it. I think you trying to play the video is not helping your lag in your situation.
Nick Silver, though, 5.2 seconds. No concerns for him as he works off turn 2. He's going to go down the back straightaway for the final time, Evan. He's looking for his first win on the season. This would lock him into the chase, even though he already had a spot pretty much locked up. A win guarantees that spot, and it builds momentum heading into the chase to make him a championship favorite.
Final time in turn number. You go 2 stops. Do you go 1 stop? And Nick Silver, right under the radar, highest driver in the championship standings into tonight. 4th, 52 points back. Tonight going to be his 8th top 5 and 11th top 10. But more importantly, win number 1 on 2016. Nick Silver, your Full Throttle Cup Series winner from Indy.
That lead.
Silver,
Big lead. Did that work at all? Like I don't really know that worked, but I think you guys heard that, right?
Yeah.
I just so shocked. Yeah. Well, how big was that? How much did you win by?
It was a lot. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was, like I said, sometimes I just need a little luck. I never get the luck, and that one time I got some luck. I don't know if you remember that iRacing had a glitch where you would pit and it wouldn't fuel you if you had it, checked. And poor Scott Eckridge, I was kind of hanging with him a little bit. He had like maybe a 3-second lead though on me, 3-second lead. And he got the glitch on pit road and it took just long enough that I was able to take the lead. And he ended up, I think he tracked me down a little bit, but he was just too far behind. I think he ended up going green that whole race. But like I said, just a little bit of luck,
Okay.
But the story of my life, Evan or whoever was talking right there, I'm always up there in the points, whatever I get consistent finishes, but I never get that damn win and finally got it there.
Yeah, it was in Indy. It must have been like mid-year and you had 8 top 5s and 11 top 10s. It was time for Nick Silver to get the win. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was, like I said, that's a good looking paint scheme. I like looking at that Gain car. That was Sean Casto's doing. One of the better ones I've driven.
What was that sponsor?
Yeah, Gain.
Oh, Gain, like the
Jeff Burton.
Oh yeah, like the laundry detergent. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I think I was looking at some old Jeff Burton Gain cars and told Sean this is what I want to run this year. So we were running a few different colors that year.
I was gonna say, yeah. I was like, I love that car growing up. So yeah, that's
was that like a throwback of sense there?
No,
for the actual cup you run, or that independent?
Well, we were running that all season. I don't know if Sean.
Yeah.
I don't think he based it off Jeff Burton's car, but yeah, we were running a green one, a purple one, and I think we ran something else some point in the season. But
didn't we see your throwback car? Did we?
We might have seen it, but I don't think anyone else has. So we were going to reveal that last week, but I guess we could reveal that this week. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this, Silver?
Car.
Well,
I show it.
Huh?
Maybe talk to us a little bit about it, and then I'll show it on the screen. Do a little review.
Well, everybody could probably figure it out. Running the 3 car and color I really like on race cars is orange, so you kind of know where it's going from there.
I don't know it. Oh, there it is.
What is that? A Jeff Gordon scheme?
Oh, come on. Dancing, you're an idiot.
Jeff, is that Mark Mark?
That's obviously Jeff Gordon. Obviously.
It's an Austin
That's
Dillon
a Hendrick font right there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love Austin Dillon. That's so cool.
You know who doesn't like Austin Dillon? Matt. Matt hates Austin Dillon.
Oh, I hate Austin Dillon, yes.
With a passion.
Him and Denny Hamlin, yeah.
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 I don't think we need to rehash that one, yeah.
I've just always liked the Wheaties car, so running the 3, I figured that was probably pretty much a no-brainer. Had to run it this year. Plus, I wanted to paint it myself. Usually, Sean or Alan Elwood do my paint schemes. And simple scheme, I can do that, and I had a lot of fun trying to do the logos in the retro style, the keeping it real hamburger there and everything like that. That was fun to do.
Geez, the 3 on a Ford, that should be illegal, shouldn't it?
I was about to say the same thing, Danton. I can't. That's like one of those like show cars you see on Twitter. That's like a paint scheme. They got a 2004 Dodge Charger that's actually coded as like a Chevrolet. It doesn't look anything like it. It's a freaking joke. That's the vibes. And not your car looks great. Your car doesn't look shitty like those. But it's just odd seeing the 3 in a Ford.
It's better than the 3 on a Toyota like I was doing earlier this year.
Were you guys Toyota that switched to Ford? Did I miss that?
Yeah, we're just kind of everybody's running their own thing, I guess.
Oh, okay.
We tried to organize them. That's why I had the Toyota for a little while there, and Sean and a couple other guys weren't biting, so I said screw it, back to the Ford.
Is the throwback for Darlington? Are we doing that?
That's on the car. Yeah.
Right. When's that?
What number are you? You're
Darlington in 2 weeks. It's coming up.
Alrighty.
The playoff opener.
So we have a couple things going on. One is next week at Daytona. I know Evan's been waiting to announce something for Daytona. I don't know when it's getting announced. But I feel like that news is probably coming in the next couple days for what RSR is doing, which is pretty great. So be on the lookout for that. And then I think Darlington is the week after that. In which we'll have the theme night with the throwbacks, which I just assume everyone will do. Well, whoever wants to participate. So maybe we'll have a bunch of reveals next week for throwbacks for Darlington. I don't know that I'll work on ours yet, Nick, but I know I think you spoke a little bit, I guess, on our unrecorded podcast last week about what you want to do for throwbacks. So we'll work on that. But Silver, you set the bar pretty high already. So a nice paint scheme. Love seeing the Earnhardt tribute Circle B diecast on there. Very cool.
Thanks. Yeah. Hopefully we'll have Cup win number 2 in that race.
Oh yeah.
Did you see real quick? Did you see Darlington paved? They paved their track. People are so NASCAR's so afraid that there's going to be so much backlash with repaves. They just don't even tell any people anymore. They just repave it, and then you show up and it's repaved. That's what I got from one of the pictures I saw on Twitter. Anyway, so that was unexpected. But I know
we should see that in racing in like a year.
Exactly. Yeah. Should we announce our throwbacks, Matt? Do you even know your throwback yet?
No, I have no idea. Oh, we just got the announcement from Evan. He heard what I had said. So, Real Sim Racing will put $50 to the race winners charity of choice. Race for a Cause 200 next week. We encourage all drivers to add their charity's logo on their car, and then if the race winner has a charity on their car, RSR will donate a minimum of $50 to their charity. So we encourage everyone to participate and contribute to the cause, which is really cool. I think they should be excited. Everybody should be excited about that. Get some charities on the car.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I got some paint scheme work to do now for next week.
Yeah, two paint schemes to do. That'll be a lot of fun for you.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, and then I'm still thinking, and we'll talk about it after Daytona, but I would like to do a theme night of sorts. We brought that up a couple episodes ago. So we'll see if that happens. I like that idea. A theme night? Well, I mean, Darlington is throwbacks. Next week is charities, right? So, that's the thought. Maybe we'll think of something fun. And the painters out there can get creative. And we'll have Elmwood Designs, or we'll have, Sean or Nick. You guys can paint all the cars for us. But we'll do something fun. I don't know what it is, but I think I'll leave it up to a vote, to people's choice.
Yeah, I'm sure
everybody complain about what the majority picked.
I think I think Nick Silver's thrilled that you just basically summoned him to make 40 race cars.
He did such a great job with his throwback. So, so that's something I did. Yeah, I did. When you say you can barely paint the car, but you used to do custom diecast. So I think I think it might have been all the way back at Evan's episode. I've got some custom diecast. I seen you were in the custom diecast group and you created some custom diecast a while ago. And then I think it was last week, you showed a couple that you had done. One, do you still take requests? And two, what's your best work? What's your favorite work? And how did you start doing that? Because I think that's pretty neat.
Honestly, I don't really know why I started doing it. I think I started watching this guy's videos. I think his name's Sam Circo, maybe. He did a few videos on YouTube just showing how to do them, and he's on that custom diecast as well, Chesapeake Diecast. So I just kind of watched that. It didn't seem too difficult. It's definitely very time consuming, and I mean, it's difficult to be really good at it. But I figured that would be a good thing to learn. So I just kind of started picking it up, doing some basic stuff, and I don't really do it anymore because, like I said, it just takes too much time. You can only paint at certain times if you don't have a paint booth, outside. I'm doing it outside and everything. But no, I did a few really cool ones I was really proud of for Shane Ewing, who runs in our league, Nick Cohan. I think Steve Gottschalk, another guy who races, I think still over at Sim 500. I did one for him. And I think the one I did for Steve and the one I did for Shane were definitely kind of my better works.
Do you have any behind you? I know you had all the diecast behind you. Do you have any of your custom diecast that you've done maybe for yourself?
I still have this one right here that was one of my throwbacks over at Sim 500. Let's see.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so that was like I said, I can really only paint straight lines if I'm the one doing my own paint scheme. So picked another throwback with straight lines. Mike Bliss's IWX truck from back in the day. So figured the colors were good for Motorcraft. But yeah, that was a pretty fun one to do.
I've started doing one too. I've not made much progress, but I pull it apart and just and
really
okay, and then it's
nice.
And then it's just kind of stalled at this point. So this is a V8 supercar, but you can't really see it probably. But so I've just done the base coat, but then eventually it'll have I've got all the doors and everything else in a little tub, and a sexy car. But yeah, so it's I know exactly what you mean though, trying to plan it out, and I don't know how I'm going to do some of the more complex parts, but
where you guys? So I guess Silver, did you print your own decals? And then Danson, how are you getting your decals for your car? What are you making?
Nick answer first.
Well, I've done a couple where there was this guy Pato's Place online. I don't know if he still sells them. It's kind of, I don't know if you've noticed on the custom racing diecast, but it's kind of a touchy subject now, printing and selling decals, for real cars, I guess. But I did a couple of those, bought his decals, which, for the most part were pretty good, to kind of get down the basics of painting the car and disassembling, reassembling the car without having to worry about, producing the decals. But as far as, all the custom ones, this one I did for myself, the ones I did for all the other iRacing guys, I just took their Photoshop file that they had, and I just had to, kind of transform them to the template that I made. And then it was kind of just, trial and error from there printing it. But I print them on my laser printer in color and had the water slide decals. And same thing, it's a lot of trial and error, a lot of wasted paper trying to get it to look just right, stick to the decal without falling off, And
then when it dries, it looks real nice, because you think you take a water decal, you get it all wet, you put it on there, it's there's a texture you would think to it. And honestly, I know the ones I have is it looks like it was meant to look like that. I don't know if that's how they actually paint die casts, the ones that they sell in the stores, but it is pretty amazing how accurate they look. Out of box.
Yeah, and it's difficult. You got to, and a lot of people don't have printers that print white, and you don't really think about that, until you're making your own decals. But you basically got to put the outline of the color of the car, on the decal and try to cut as close as you can to the logos with your little scissors, and it's time consuming. Otherwise, you gotta, you can print on transparent decals without a white background, but then it looks weird unless you're printing a duplicate in white, to put on there. So it's just a lot of things you don't think of till you're doing it.
Well, that's why I don't even touch it. That's why I've got these. So they bought them on Facebook. Yeah, I'll show my diecast. Does it surprise anyone that I have my two paint schemes from this year in diecast? Probably not.
No, I like
And who did those for you?
WBD diecast. I don't think he's taking any requests right now, but they turned out really nice. So
yeah,
basically anyone you go to is like a month or two wait at least. I think probably 2 plus months.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I was really happy. It's kind of a crapshoot. I had someone do my truck from United Sim Racing in 2018 a few years ago, and that one it was but these were really impressive. So you can kind of tell the difference between quality, and yours, the one you did, looks like high quality. So I say props to you for figuring that out, because it is a very detail oriented task and project, I would assume, especially getting those little decals on, especially if you do like the 120. Or did you do 164s, or is it just 124s? I'd imagine maybe the 124s are a little bit easier because they're bigger, but
I don't know. Well, no, I've only done 124s. I did I have a couple Kyle Busch, little 164s that I've already stripped. I was starting to try to move towards the 164s before I kind of totally stopped doing it. I still kind of want to get back into it a little bit, but if I do, I want to aim for the 164. So I'm trying to figure out an easier way of doing it with those, maybe wrapping it somehow, instead of doing the individual decals, but we'll see.
Honestly,
so Danton, with that, Danton, what are you doing with that V8 supercar?
It's meant to be so Seth and I finished second in the official Bathurst 1000 2 years ago, and so yeah, it's just to commemorate that, because we have no idea what we were doing, but we had a good crack and finished pretty well. So it's based on the scheme that we ran at that point, and the decal question, that's the question that I've got. I can do the base paint because the base wasn't insanely complex, so I'm going to do that all just with paint only. But then the decals themselves, that's what I don't even know where to start with, who to source that through. Obviously down here, so there is a guy who he's a painter on iRacing. He's the stuff that I've seen the most from him that was insane was he does a lot of helmets, which are really difficult to do in iRacing. But his name's George Simmons, and no worries, Radden. But anyway, so he also, not only does he paint stuff on iRacing, and he's pretty well known through trading paints. He does custom die casts as well. He's based in the UK, but his work is insane. If you have a look at him on Instagram, actually, I'll see what his thing is. Let me just double check his handle. But his stuff is really good, because the issue that I have with some of the custom die casts that I see, when they are a wrap or whatever, you get the part where the wrap or the sticker that people have printed off of the entire side of the car overlaps, and it just looks really tacky.
Yes.
So the guy, his thing is GeoSim Graphics, and I don't know. He did it. He did an Altus. He did an Altus diecast. If you go to it, you can bring that up. Hang on, I'm gonna put a picture in the after the turns thing.
Okay.
Hold on, and you can put this for everyone to see how good this guy is.
Yeah, let's see it. What we got?
Hold on, incoming.
I'm ready. I'm gonna have to do something.
What's taking so long?
Mate, I'm scrolling.
So on to the next topic.
Oh wow! Wait, there was a bigger picture too. Where'd that go? Holy fuck! No.
So how long do you think it's going to take you to complete your diecast, Anson?
Well, at the moment it's taken a year, and I've done the base coat, and that's it. So probably about another 3 years.
Silver, how long did the average car that you made? How long would that take you from start to finish to make a custom?
I mean, I don't know if I worked on it, pretty much every other day. I'd say, like a month, maybe a month and a half or so. It took a lot of time, especially if you had to make the decals because you just, keep printing and trying to fit them.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine it being a huge pain in the butt. So whatever people are charging for custom diecast, it's not enough, in my opinion. So that's why I will happily pay for whoever's got the skill.
Dancing.
Where's the other half of the car?
That's a sexy car.
I know that's the
It is
picture. That's, on his, that's the picture that's on his thing. I'll see if I can get another one.
I'm taking it. That's really cool. Yeah, that's a really cool car.
Yeah.
You gotta send it into the chat. Everybody's like, well, you're not in that Discord anymore. So if you get back into it, Matt, share that picture in there or something. So
it's up right now.
Oh, nice. There it is. Cool. Sick.
Yeah.
The thing about painting cars is that I have no artistic skills, and that just sounds really difficult. So I'll just commission it out to anybody who wants to make my cars and my die-casts for future purpose.
Dude, where is the 32? Where's the car I gave you sitting?
I think it's around the corner somewhere.
He's thrown it in the bin.
Yeah, it's in the trash. Just like my season. Yeah, no. No, I got it out there somewhere. Yeah. For the world to see. Two people. So, where do we go next? Where do we go from here?
We probably should, if we want to end this at any point soon. We should probably start focusing towards wrapping up. So we got a few things here. We got power rankings. We've got maybe we should talk about the standings first, go into the last race, and then we can go into power rankings. And
Danson, are you about to pull out of the top 25 after missing the last couple?
Nah.
It's a great question.
I actually looked at if you could win Daytona, you have a chance to get in the top 25.
I don't think.
It'd be tight.
It would be pretty ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. Some things go your way, you could maybe make it in the top 25. So that should be our goal, is to get you.
If I won, it would feel like winning a championship. I don't even care if I make the playoffs. But yes.
Yeah. True. Maybe they'd give a playoff waiver.
They should.
Like everybody gets a playoff waiver. So.
How would 16th place feel at that point? Which is, I think, Rhett McBride right now. How would he feel?
It's true.
Yeah. So Nick, you're locked in. First driver without a win. Probably sounds like all too familiar territory for you. Unfortunately,
makes me really hate the playoffs.
Yeah. 10 guys here with wins now. Pretty crazy that we have 10 drivers in 19 races winning. I think if we probably looked at any other season, I would bet that there aren't that many winners, but I don't have that stat ready for me somehow. Bunch of guys already locked in. Really, that 16th spot is the only one up for grabs, and there's a couple people in play there. But I want to say if Rhett McBride doesn't have any issues, he's going to be okay. But, I mean, it's Daytona, so anything can happen. Bradley's actually ran one less race than Rhett, and is that close? It's going to be really interesting to watch this, and obviously you have up until 25th place who is potentially getting a chance to race their way in and kind of play spoiler. But the top 15 are locked in, so all we're looking at is 16th place up for play right now.
Wow. That's crazy. Oh, congrats to all you guys that haven't won that are about to get locked in. So that's a pretty strong field of guys, I would say, overall for the championship. If you ask me.
So Silver, you look at this list of people who you're competing for a championship against. What are your thoughts looking at this competition here?
It's a pretty tough field, like you said. You know, a lot of guys. You know, everybody with I don't know how many bonus points. I haven't really looked at the rule book what the points situation is, but I don't know how many bonus points the guys with the wins get, or if they go past the first round. But the first round at least is going to be pretty cutthroat between all of us that have no wins. You know, they're going to be pretty even there. Like I said, though, it makes me really hate the playoffs, though, going from third to essentially 16th, you know, in one race. But it is what it is, and just got to be consistent at least to get through that first round.
Well, I feel like with 10 races, you know, that's a long time still. That's a third of our season. It's half of our regular season. So I feel like you could probably still get up there and be just fine no matter what, you know, even if you don't make the top.
What do you mean 10 races? He's only got 4 or 3.
Yeah, you got to take it 3 races at a time.
If you don't make the top, if you don't make the way we talk about the championship, if you don't make, you might not make the championship 4, but what they always forget to mention is if you don't make the championship 4, you go back to like the normal points that you accumulate through the 10 races, right? So 5th through 16th, let's just say you don't make it to the final 4. That is
nobody cares about 5th.
I would care about 5th. I would be if I didn't. Well, it depends what your goals are. If I made the chase, it would just be an unbelievable miracle. So for me, I would just be like, what place can I finish in the points? How high can I finish? So I suppose
you should be the fan vote. They should have like a fan vote into the playoffs.
Do you think I'd make it?
Oh yeah.
Judging by my DMs, I don't feel like I'd make it. I think Matt will get the vote over me. That's what I would say. We may be first and second. I don't know though. I see Thomas George in 18th or 19th. I'm pretty sure he would get the fan vote to get in the playoffs. 100%. This is no question. So, I don't know. They should do that. They should have a fan vote.
Yeah, a fan vote for the playoffs. Yeah,
you know
I'm sure.
We should have a most popular driver award. Give some of us a chance.
Okay. Well, obviously we have to host the year-end ceremonies now, just so we can crown ourselves.
All right, for the idea.
So another thing we'll do after the season, we'll have RSR 2021 awards ceremony. We'll have a banquet. We'll give everybody their interviews, and we'll have some awards that we give out. Well, that sounds like a great time. That should be like our After the Turns finale. We just created that. It's happening.
We just saw the gears turn, literally. And
I've already created the graphics. I've already started. Photoshop is up.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Silver, what are your expectations? What are you hoping for? We get to the playoffs. What are your goals for 2021?
I mean, obviously hoping to get to the Final Four, but if we're making predictions right now, I think your top 4 that you got right there on the playoffs is the top 4 that's going, that's going to be there at Phoenix. I think Matt's pretty much got a straight shot to the second round.
Did you hear that echo?
Sorry, I'm hearing myself back.
Is that you, Nick?
Nick is trying to listen to himself on the broadcast and he's echoing. Yeah,
it's not as much as I think that would most likely be true. I don't hear myself, so now it's good. I think we're good. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, I think your top 4 that you've got going into the playoffs is going to be your top 4 at Phoenix. There, I think everybody, Daniel, Brandon, Andrew, they're all strong. Matt's pretty strong. I think he'll get to the second round, no problem with his bonus points. So come Roval time, I think he's going to get that win, and that'll punch into the third round there. And then
how does the thing actually work?
I think when you say
bonus points, what happens? What are the bonus points?
Well, I'm assuming we get bonus points. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't read the rule book, but
no, it's just the one. It's just through the first round, then it resets.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It gets him into the second round, even if he maybe has a little bit of an issue. And then we got the Roval in the second round, I believe. And
yeah, that's right. Yeah, Roval second round.
And we all know Matt's going to win that one, so.
I'll try.
I think Liam Sheen's going to win that one, actually.
Good one.
Was that my best joke of the show?
Yeah, good joke.
Thank you. I try. The thing about I don't even think that the bonus points, Silver, they're only I think they're only 3 points for the win. So it's I don't even think having 3 or 4 wins really guarantees you much unless you have if you have one bad run, but it's definitely not as much of a guarantee as I feel like the real life playoff points are.
Well, when everybody's even, every little bit matters, so.
That's true.
But like you said, I mean, hopefully they don't, they're only for the first round, thank God, but.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps.
Sam's desperate for predictions on who.
I was going to say, Sam's trying to talk some playoff predictions into existence. I think we'll do that next week. Let's lock the field, and then we'll start talking playoffs. So hold yourself. I know you're looking to not think about Michigan, but we'll get to that next week.
Okay. Fun. Okay. What do we need to where do we need to go if we're gonna wrap this up, Matt?
Well, we got power rankings. So I think we're wondering how far down Danson is, but he was kicked out last week. Is Danson still in your freezer, Nick?
I had a guest over last week and I threw all of the papers out because I didn't know how to explain the fridge and the microwave, even though I did have to explain that the microwave is definitely the man of the household over myself. And
the man of the house.
So they're all gone. So not this week. So we can just point at it and I'll remake them. I don't have no pens either. So.
Wait, you threw them out?
Did you not? How was I going to explain that I had people's numbers all over my fridge? I cleaned it. I told you. I cleaned everything. I cleaned it out and everything.
How do you explain the bowl of keys at your front door?
My what?
Everyone's key. Never mind.
Oh, good joke. Yeah. right over my head.
Surely no one's going to be freaking out about a couple of hand-drawn double-digit numbers in your freezer. Why are they even checking?
I don't know. I just, I know if I left them in there, then they would have been checked. That's why. They're like, what are you doing with all this in here? There's literally Danson's puns has been in the freezer for 6 weeks. I had to throw it out. It's just.
How? My serial killer. That's right. My puns are great. What do you mean?
Yeah, those are my marks. You're just go ahead. Let's just go. Let's just do the power rankings.
Power rankings. I gotta get my stats up so I can justify this. I think this is the least amount of movement I've seen any week. The amount of body. Yeah, okay. No, the least amount. I mean, Michigan, it feels like a lot happened, but also not a lot happened. I don't know how to explain Michigan. This is kind of surprising, though. I had Lariah dropping out of the top 10.
Who? Michael Lariah? That's because he ran with me this week. That's why. Yeah. That's exactly
30th, 10th, 30th, 11th, 6th, and 17th. Just with everybody new who's come into the league, that's his last 6. And knocked him out with the 17th place. And it was hard to do that. But I think everybody in the top 10 has competed in the top 5 or for a win. So, that's why he's out. He hasn't done that in a while. His last top 5 was at Dover, I think, 11 weeks ago.
Damn,
so.
the guy gets 45 top 10s in a row, misses it once, and then you bop him out of the rankings.
Misses them once. 30th, 10th, 30th, 11th, 6th, and 17th. Those are the last 6. There's 2 top 10s in there, a 6th and a 10th. But yes, he did have a top 10 streak before that, which Lariah should definitely be in the freezer. He's got to snap out of it. So unfortunately, Liam. I think Liam had a very average finish this week.
Yeah, chuck him in the freezer.
whatever.
All
Yeah.
4 of Liam's numbers from the year was in the freezer.
Just chuck his number in the bin.
It actually, everyone's is in an alley right now.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, you just threw it out the window?
No, I brought it downstairs and threw it out. But
Out to
yes.
the dumpster. Okay.
Yeah. The guy who lives on one of the guys who lives on the second story regularly goes in and dumpster dives. I've seen it, so he may have found. Maybe he's got some of the numbers.
Do you reckon? Hang on. Do you reckon anyone that finds it would see all the numbers on individual pieces of paper and think it's like a code that they've got to like put together?
It's like national treasure. I don't know.
He's currently trying to decipher the code right
just-
now.
Yeah.
He's got like he's got the marker on a bit of glass.
Yeah.
He's trying to like decode
Yeah,
the
it's
whole
like
thing.
I got this all connects somehow. Surely it's racing related. iRacing related. I can just tell.
And somehow he finds the show. Yeah.
He's got he'll find your wiki, your sim wiki page. and
Oh
he'll-
yes, that's what it all leads back to.
Okay.
All right.
So I
keep
got De
going.
Blasio moving up to 9th. He didn't race
man.
last week, and he was 40th the week before. So this is the second week in a row somebody's last race was 40th or worse, and they won. So drivers that could pull that off again this week at Daytona, David Washington. Maybe we can watch for him. Steve Durham or Stove Price Jr. So can we have one of those three continue the streak?
No.
No, maybe Dave Washington. That would be something.
Yeah, Dave White.
3 weeks in a row to have your last finish be outside the 40th or worse and then win the next week. That would be pretty impressive.
Wait, couldn't I do that?
I guess you didn't start. Yeah. So you can go from not starting to win. Yeah. I think that would count.
I remember Danson's last.
Make sure your spotter's working.
Yeah.
He's like, damn, it got me. That was fun. Okay. Oh, Sam.
Got
yeah.
Sam moving up to 8th here with a 2nd and a 7th in the last 2 races. Yeah, I mean, it was 15th, 21st, 12th, 21st, 11th, the 4 or 5 races before that. Otherwise, you'd be higher up on the board, Sam. So, take 8,
You know what I just looked briefly. I hadn't looked at where I was in the standings for a while since it's just been a complete disaster.
Yeah.
And I realized in
I think
looking
that-
through the standings that it's very a lot of guys don't have a ton of top 10s. They seem to be pretty evenly distributed.
Yeah.
After the first, the top 3 or 4. So it's hard to get a lot of consistency when everybody runs so close. But anyway, go ahead. So
Yeah. Zach Carr. So this was, and this is kind of the reason why I was like, okay, let's bring Danson on the show because
What happened to Zach Carr? Has he been out here recently?
yeah, where'd he go? Wasn't he in the
he was
race?
in the race. Yeah, he was in the race. So this is an example of he was one of the guys who's bit by strategy. So again, part of the issue is you can look at finishing result as one piece of it. But Zach Carr was running 2nd, 3rd, the whole first run with us. And I don't know why I'm not finding him on here. But he was fast the entire race. He had a car to win, but he was on the 2-stop strategy, what cost him. He finished 14th. So I think that was part of the reason why. But he had finished 8th and 6th the 2 weeks before that. He had a wreck at Atlanta where he finished 37th, but then he also finished 2nd at Road America, which was his first start. So consistently fast and ran in the top 5 literally the entire race. If not for pit strategy, he would have finished top 5. So
I qualified 2nd, ran well, and announced the race before. So do you guys think that I'm in the top 3, or do you think maybe obviously on the list? It's more so where am I on the list at this point?
yeah, I guess we'll just keep revealing. Yeah.
Can't wait to see.
Yeah.
Heating up. 20th place finish gets you right in the rankings.
Reb fell back a spot. He had been incredibly consistent with before this Michigan finish. So I only had the heart to drop him one spot here. But yeah, he finished 30th this week. He finished 30th this week, but it was 9th, 5th, 38th in Atlanta, but then 8th, and 9th the 3 weeks before that. So Didn't.
Okay.
He's right there at 6th, which is surprising that. And I had talked to him offline. I think it was after the Watkins Glen episode about how he's been running a lot better. And with even all this consistency and being the power rankings the last 3 weeks, he's still 16th in points with only a 14-point advantage to make the playoffs. So we'll see. Hopefully, he can keep the momentum up. Yeah.
Drama.
Oh yeah.
What was Sam's last finishes?
Sam was 2nd and 7th, but then before that it was 15th, 21st, 12th, 21st, and 11th.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Also,
this is the top 10s versus the top 21s. He finished 21st twice. So yeah.
My friend who's currently very mad at me for only going to 2 of 3 days of a festival next weekend. His favorite driver is Rhett McBride. So a little bit of spice there. We don't know why. Seems like a nice guy, but just thought everyone should know he's got one fan out there, so one extra fan.
Yes. Red is a good guy. That's true.
Right, listen. Props to Red. Yeah.
We talked. We were in a practice before one of the official races last week, and we had a nice conversation. And he's a really good guy. So we stand for Rhett McBride. So anyway, go ahead.
Agnell Phillip here in 5th. Not really a surprise. He finished 13th this week. Average finish. 13th, 12th, 2nd, 6th, the last 4. I spelled his name wrong on the flyer. Sorry, I got it right here. Autocorrect. I added 2 L's in Phillip. Sorry about that. Should give you a spot in the power rankings.
He's still looking for his starter button, though.
What happened to
his freaking ignition button from last race?
What happened?
I was gonna say, what's the story behind that?
Oh, nothing. I'm just shitting on him a little bit. We're all saving gas and we're all clutching in. Agnell's here freaking shutting the engine off. And turn 3, all of a sudden he just doesn't go. And I knew what happened, and he said, yeah, he shut it off and couldn't get it back started. Too many buttons, I guess. So
oh no.
It was almost a disaster, but it's all in good fun.
Oh my god. Well, he's in 5th. So I wonder who's in the top 4. Oh.
Ever heard for? Are you surprised to not see your name there, Nick?
No.
I thought for sure I was. Oh, you're talking about
me or him?
Nick Mara. Yeah, I think Nick Mara was surprised he didn't see his name.
We're both not surprised.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, hey, I'm gonna qualify well at Daytona. If I qualify well at Daytona and I finish top 10, I think I have to be added to the list. So.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid on the first 3 because I don't think they're gonna surprise anyone.
Oh, Seth.
Yeah.
Back,
yeah.
baby.
Seth has had the speed. Drew and Brandon are the class of the field. Those top 4 have kind of separated themselves speed-wise. So, again, not a lot of movement on this one. Maybe I was just lazy. I don't know. But people are kind of, we had a wave of new drivers come in, I want to say 5 or 6 weeks ago. And those guys have kind of made their marks here in the new power rankings. And I don't anticipate as much fluctuation. Obviously, as we get into the playoffs with Daytona next week, maybe things will get crazy. I don't know. But yes, I think we should all ride that Nick Mara is not in this. But other than that, not a lot of movement.
It's unfortunate, actually. I think Seth could have had better results in a lot of the races. So obviously Michigan, he got dudded on the strategy as a few people did. But I mean, that's the way the race goes, right? You got to play the strat. And Watkins, he had a massive brain fart where he was tracking the pole time, but thought he hadn't looked at the standings at that point and thought that his whatever it was 12.4, I guess, was going to be off because in practice everyone was doing 12 zeros, I think was the fastest. So, and he'd made a little mistake and he thought his 12.4 wasn't going to be good enough. So he parked it coming out of the last turn and then proceeded to completely choke the next lap. But so that was frustrating. And obviously you saw how he came through the field and I think he finished 3rd from memory. But so he really could have had 2 wins on the trot, looking at that. So and then I guess before that was Loudon, right, where he finished P2, just missed out on the win. So
fifth,
second,
3rd, and 16th.
Yeah, he's looking very good. If he he can close some of these out, he'll be the new dominant force.
I'm not going to disagree with you there, especially considering how good he was at Michigan. And yeah, the other 3 finishes were top 5s. So
yeah.
Definitely going to continue to run for wins. So I don't think there's a whole lot of debate about that. There's a clear class in the field. And then behind that, there's a lot of guys who are very close. So I think it's going to make the playoffs extremely interesting, especially a cutoff for, well, every round is going to be very tightly fought. So it should be exciting.
Yep.
I can't believe we're here. It's time for the playoffs. Wow. You guys so
drama.
Nervous? Yeah. My nerve is that I'm going to wreck somebody in the playoffs and never hear the end of it. So, yeah. I think Matt, I think you're going to get a lot of drama in the next 10 weeks. So get ready for it.
Danton will stir it up and then I'll eat it up is kind of what's going to happen. So,
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I thought, like I said, Michigan was a great race. It was great racing and everyone raced really well and yeah, it was fantastic. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, it's a great race.
So looking forward to the next one.
That's true. That is true. You did wreck Dylan as he was going for his championship. That was unfortunate.
That was so bad. I just got to make sure I don't do that again to anyone. Yeah. Probably just pull over, especially out of pit road, and just let people by if they're close.
Yeah, I mean, if they're fighting for a championship, you have no choice.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? We're just spots fill on the field at this point.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's not about us anymore.
So looking to next week, we do have our, the Durham segment didn't happen this week, so hopefully everybody wrecks a lot next week. So Steve Durham will have plenty of time on the show. I'm sure everybody will want that. But we do have our 5 with Bowie. What's that?
Are we having him back again?
So okay, I guess I can get everyone up to speed. So we're having our weekly segment with Steve Durham called Whose Fault Is It Anyway? Where we're gonna have Steve review every caution that happens in the race and tell us whose fault it is. And so that was supposed to start this week. Unfortunately, we didn't have any accidents.
That's crazy. We almost had the one that he deliberately tried to bring out, huh?
So I would love to hear about that or see some video. So if anyone has a replay and wants to send that to me, we can just have Steve address it during his segment next week.
Wow.
If we wreck, maybe we'll go green the whole way again. But that was supposed to happen this week. But our other segment with Brandon is our 5 with Bowie. And I asked him, what do we have to look for at Daytona? And he really only gave me one, but I had a couple other ones in here. And Nick will love this. Number 1, win the pole.
Win the race.
Hey, that's
win the pole, win the race. Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say the other one would be pit stops.
Yeah.
That's where I'm gonna lose them. But Okay, guys. If I win the pole, let's just make it an 80-lap procession. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't get out of line. We actually were supposed to switch sponsors last week and we didn't. So
we'll do it this week. Yeah.
Whoopsies.
I think everyone in the field would be totally happy if Nick won the pole just to ride around and just let you win, or even just park. Everyone just parks and just lets you have it.
Yeah, just a processional. Everybody could be in the field just to make it look like it was a bit of a challenge. But I'm pretty sure if I won the pole, the rest of the field would be like, you know what? I know half of us are racing for playoffs, but it's not about us today. So I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a fire trucks and ambulances going by. I think there was.
There actually was a shooting.
Yeah, I think there actually was.
Oh, really?
Wow.
You hate to see it. Yep, there goes the ambulance right there underneath the L. You hate to see it.
Holy moly.
So, yeah. This was the longest I think I've ever made it in a podcast without hearing one of those and seeing it. So
that's insane.
Yeah. Safe times.
Oh, Chicago.
That's the goal. That's the goal. So
win the pole, hold the bottom, pick up spots on pit road because that'll be the easiest place to pass. We'll see in practice. We'll see a bunch of people practicing their entry and exit off pit road, I'm sure. Because it seems like that's where all the racing is going to be. So we'll see.
Yeah, Danson's reaction to the end of that comment is probably how the race is going to be.
Yawns, yeah.
Oh no! I mean, not if people get off the bottom. If everyone just rides in the bottom, then of course it's going to be a snoozer. But if people actually get up off the bottom and try and make it work,
I think you can. So I did one race today. Of course, I got wrecked because some guy didn't want to hold himself on the bottom. But you get amazing runs, and I was on the outside. He smashed into me. But like you can get really amazing runs on the bottom because they check up a lot. I thought it was a little different than Talladega, just in my 18 laps. But you just need a lot of people to go with you, and I think you can make it work. But everybody's just so afraid to make that happen. So if some good solid guys with high I rating want to work outside together,
Opposite Sports, and
so
keeping it real, basically,
If you have a group of like 8 to 10 people that will commit themselves, you can make it happen.
I think the issue is if we see keeping it real good up front, like we did at Talladega, it's going to be nearly impossible to pass them. And I did want to talk about that. Nick Silver, we heard you were not happy about staying in line and finishing third at Talladega, which I don't think anybody blames you for feeling that way, but it was almost team orders to a point. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I think you're going to be inevitably in a very similar situation this week at Daytona.
Well, I mean, it wasn't really team orders. It was just kind of one guy said he was going to push, and then everybody just kind of fell in line, except for without asking Nick Silver's opinion, essentially. But I just was either go with the team or, try to make a pass, and you're going back to 30th. I don't like super speedway racing very much. Ever since I got rid of the tandem, that was the only time it was ever fun. And with the way they got the aero now, it's such shit. But it's so tough to pass. And I think I got to the front or towards the front, and something happened again, and I fell all the way back. I think I tried to make a move, fell all the way back. And I got myself back up there to like third place behind Chris and Sean. And I think it was like 30 to go or something crazy like that. And Chris it was basically like, I'm going to push you, Sean. I'm not even going to try to win or whatever. And I knew at that point, nobody was behind me from my team. I knew it was pretty much over. My only shot was Andrew was behind me, and I knew he was going to want to go. So I was just trying to wait and kind of time it where he could push me around him. But then we got, those caution flags there at the end, and Brandon got in behind me. And Brandon's already got his win. And, he's looking out for the team. So he said for sure he wasn't coming off the bottom. So then I'm sitting there in third. There's nothing I can do about it. The only shots really I had after that were on the restarts. But Sean's not an idiot. He knew that I was the only one who was going to go for the win out of the three of us there. So he was restarting, up top as the leader was starting up top, because he knew Chris was going to back out, let him down. Where, if it was the other way around, I was going to try to make a move that would put me behind him. So, I mean, it was just shitty. I don't show up to ride around. I only do one league. This is my only league race a week. So, I don't practice and run the races or whatever just to ride for the last 35 laps. So that was why I was frustrating, was just, kind of, it was predetermined. We weren't really going to try to do anything, for the end there. But, I mean, it is what it is.
So this time you need to be at the front of the train when everybody decides to sit in line, and then maybe you'll feel a little bit differently.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. If it's like 5 to go and they decide that, that's fine. But 30 to go, I mean, I don't know. That was the only thing that, you want a shot. Everybody wants a shot, The
racing puts you in that position, unfortunately. Like the package puts you in that position. Nobody's really happy. I don't think, other than the winner, I think there will be a lot of angry people coming out of Daytona. That's typically how the restrictor plates work, is generally you're either, happy you won or frustrated you didn't win. And I think we're going to see a lot of that, unfortunately.
Well, I think like it's the way the package is now, the way it used to be, right before they did that update, or, how it is in trucks or Xfinity, I mean, if your 3 out of 4 teammates say they're not going to go for it, you can still find somebody else that'll go with you and, try to make a move. But with the way this package is, you can't, like you said, you can only make the moves up top as long as people are willing to do it. And, if the 4 guys around you aren't willing to do it, then you're done.
Yeah.
Well, excited for the Winter Series.
The Truck Series too. Truck Series. We got a chance there.
Daytona. Yeah.
At Daytona,
Yeah. For sure, I might run that one. I guess that would probably be fun to run, I would say.
Yeah.
So, other than that, Matt, what else do we got?
Let's have the schedule, and then we can wrap up. I know, things got jumbled up a little bit. So thanks, Nick, for joining us again this week. And Brian Chambliss was supposed to be on this week, and he was gracious enough to move to Darlington in 2 weeks, so we'll have him on then. And so this is our lineup for the next few weeks. Trey Browning next week, active member of the chat, so looking forward to that. Thanks for listening, obviously. We'll have Agnell on at Richmond, and then the idea is for the playoffs that we'll be bringing on playoff drivers, hopefully eligible and still in the race playoff drivers. So we might see some guests coming back on, depending on who's left, and but we'll keep people in the championship hunt continuing on the show. So we'll kind of fill up, kind of like we did at the beginning, probably the first few episodes, where the guests we had on the show were more last second is likely how we'll be proceeding. Unless anyone reaches out directly after Richmond. So, but we'll have lots of fast guys on. So looking forward to it.
Cool. Well, we've got a couple of fast guys on today, and I can hear myself a little bit, but no, we're good now. Okay. But for the, I guess for the end, Nick Silver, IROC champion. Really appreciated having you on today. Who would you like to thank for being on the show today?
Got to thank Brandon and all the other guys at Keeping It Real Esports. As much as I complain about Talladega or whatever, these guys are a great group of guys. They're really fun to race with. This is really the first year that I've been on a team with more than one or two other guys. And we got like 8 of us. I think 6 of us are running now in real sim racing. So it's just really cool to have a group of guys that practice together and work well together overall. And, it's just fun having everyone on the chat. So it's really cool. So I thank him for, inviting me onto the team this year. It's been a blast. And then, got to thank Evan, putting on real sim racing, Sim Seats for making it happen. I got real appreciation for Evan and what he does behind the scenes. I kind of did a little adminning at Sim 500 last year, and I'll tell you, it's really stressful and it's a real thankless job. And, everyone loves Evan here, but he still doesn't get all the thanks that he should get. So, thank him. And thank you guys for putting on this great podcast. It's pretty cool. Again, never been in a league where we had something like this, and it's really cool to see it take off the way it did, and glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, I guess I've been in every league that I've been a part of has had a podcast, so I guess other ones just need to catch up.
RSR Winter Series, RSR Cup Series,
obviously,
RSR IROC Series.
And Nick Silver makes a really good point. My future teammates have all been really great to work with already, like Braden and Seth and Matt Danson. It's a real joy, to play around with and just be really great teammates here in the near future. It's going to be really great. So I can't wait till we get the chance to do that. They don't invite you to practice, like apparently, like next team does, but we're working on it. So, do we need to? Danson, you've been wearing a Logitech hat for the last 2 hours, so all 43 Twitch viewers really got some great advertising for you.
43?
Followers. I don't think Matt's begging.
I was going to say.
No, I know.
43 viewers. Holy moly!
Oh, we got another follower. Somebody followed during the show, so thanks for whoever followed. Yes, that's a great point. If you're not following us already, please do. We're 6 more to affiliate status, so please join us, and we'll have some more content coming out soon.
Yeah, I'm doing IT whilst doing this, but obviously Logitech G, Virtual Racing School, Astro Gaming, Cube Controls, Racetech Seats. Shout out to Seth DeMerchant, Braden Bolus, and Marcus Ruckman. They're just brilliant people in general, and great teammates. Shout out to Rowden for coming along. I appreciate him being in the chat.
Is that another one of our teammates? Is he another one of our teammates? Is Rowden another one of our teammates?
No, God, no. Oh, okay. He's like a 2K iRating kind of like always Rex kind of guy. Yeah, like no way. We ain't about that life.
Hey, that's my thing. So okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's one in every group. I'm that guy. So
no, I'm kidding, Rowden. I love you, Rowden. I'm joking. Come back. But yeah, no, that's all. Obviously, thanks to you guys. Thanks, Nick, for coming along. Silver, that is not Mara. congrats again on your championship. That was very good. And I'm sorry, Rowden. And yes, see everyone next time. Again, thanks to all the drivers that participated in the race yesterday. It was a brilliant race, very clean. It was good to see the race winner execute a very super clean pass with no questionable tactics or anything. And yeah, that's all for me. That's all I got to say about that.
What about the second place starter? Did he do a really good job in the race?
Yeah, I mean, he was doing okay. The fuel strategy got him, but he was doing all right. It was like watching. I imagine it's like watching your child swim, for the first time, and they're not drowning, and you're like, wow, I don't need to do anything here. That's what it was like with you running up there. So
yeah, that's how I think that's how all of America was feeling watching that too, because when's he gonna fuck up, and he's not fucking up yet. So yeah, we were all pretty proud of him. I just got to execute. So we're getting closer. So that's a really great analogy, because that's exactly what I was thinking the whole time. He's like, sweet baby boy, just like, come on, you can do it. You're not going to screw up, right? Oh, yeah, okay, the 20th. Okay, he's back there, but he wasn't always back there. This was a different 20th place. This wasn't your grandfather's 20th place. This was a self-destructed 20th place finish.
This was, you got 30 laps of broadcast time running up in the top 10.
I did. Yeah. We got to talk about him now. You know what? The thing is, there was no bias toward me, my obvious greatness. I was in the booth with Nolan the week before. He would have never known it the next week. It wasn't like, hey, I know that guy. I talked with him. And I was like, this guy runs well. But anyway, no, it was, I kid. That was fun. So anyway, Matt, tell us who we need to thank. Sorry,
Sim Racing Studio, who will hopefully be on the car next week if we remember to update your paint scheme. Maconi Setup Shop, Mercury Energy, and Gamadel Technology. Thanks, Nick Silver, for joining us tonight. Thanks to Evan, RSR, SimSeats, Tom Morano at Boosted for setting up the store after the turns.club, and everyone who is in the chat who makes this show every week twice as fun as it already is. So thanks for joining us. And yeah. Thanks, everyone. It's been fun.
Awesome. Yep. Well, I guess that's pretty much it. Ready for I have a feeling that the winner for Daytona is on this call right now. It's going to be me. Spoiler alert, I think. So I know, Nick, you were really, maybe not super thrilled about having to kind of play teammate for the last 30 laps, but I hope as a field, we all put our differences aside if I win the pole. And, come together as one. How I was talking about the charity, Amara Motorsports is the charity. Yeah. So we're gonna take that charity out of the racetrack. Give us a chance, and we'll talk about it next week. So have a great night, everybody, and can't wait for the playoffs next week.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.